gather round the mic, talking ham and freedom, it's all we really like. Transmission waves and laughter in the air tonight. Tune in, live free and ham, it's gonna be a sight. From the underground to your speakers way loud, live free and ham is here, watch us move the crowd. Live free and ham, we're rocking the land with a signal so strong you wanna understand. Freedom and vibes straight from the band, it's the Live Free and Ham podcast, man. Flipping switches, turning dials, chasing freedom's call. We'll make you laugh and think, oh, we got it all. Face your fears on this wild ride with the Live Free and Ham by your side. Through the static and the noise, we cut right through, bringing stories and the truth, fresh and new. Buckle up and join us on this crazy trip. Live free and ham, now you're catching the drip. Live free and ham, we're rocking the land with a signal so strong you wanna understand. Freedom and vibes straight from the band, it's the Live Free and Ham podcast, man. Signal so strong you wanna understand. Freedom and vibes straight from the band, it's the Live Free and Ham podcast, man. Live free and ham, we're rocking the land with a signal so strong you wanna understand. Freedom and vibes straight from the band, it's the Live Free and Ham podcast, man.
Well, good evening, everybody. It is the Live Free and Ham podcast live stream. Woo. I love that tune.
Yeah, man.
Every time. You know, man, that is going to forever go down in the classics, I'm sure. You know, even if we have to replace it because people get sick and tired of it, it's still going to be part of our classics release album.
It's all right. I'll come up with another one. It'll be just as good, if not better.
Oh, I surely hope so. We would expect no less from the, tunage of, or I say the composer ship of, the N1OG there. So, all right. Well, so I got a bunch of people in the live stream chat here already. Good to see everybody. And thanks again for joining another live stream. So this is our live stream for the month of May. And it's been a freaking busy month for all of us. I know, if you've been paying attention and watching all of the, listening to all the episodes and watching them, Paul's been going crazy, jumping out of good working airplanes. Todd and I have, at least Todd's been busy on the Diamond, and I've been, causing some trouble. So all good all around. So either way, tonight, we decided to, I don't know if we're going to keep it low key tonight or what, but we all decided that, heck, we haven't done an AMA in a while, or at all. I don't think so. We couldn't, we went back a little bit, and I don't think we did one ever, right? Did we come to that conclusion?
I don't think we've ever done it. Ask Me Anything.
I think we did.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah,
maybe it was a light one. It wasn't like any. We didn't get a lot of questions because I don't remember, feeling like I had to go talk to my therapist or something about, these feedback or people, what they really, consider, what they hear and see. So, so yeah, we're gonna open it up and we're just gonna have some fun tonight. But if you're in the chat and you got a dying question, now is the time to do it, man. Now you can throw it out there. You can ask us about anything. And, we'll try to answer our best way possible, or, we'll just, ignore the question and, continue on, in normal style of, how things are going today. So anyway, But anyway, so with that, how are you guys doing? What's been going on? How's all of your things that are going on for between you and Paul? And so we'll start with you, Paul. What's been going on with you, man? How's your day been?
Well, so I mean, I had a good day. It wasn't bad. The weather this morning was a little overcast and rainy. It kind of cleared up a bit during the middle of the day, and I was hoping. Carlos was messaging me, and he was like, "Hey, I'm talking to the drop zone. Like, there's a good chance that even though they're closed today, we could probably still get you in the air if you're willing to do it." And I was like, "Yes, I got to get back up." But
When was,
yeah,
when was the last time you jumped?
Saturday.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That's been a bit of time. You must be.
You're
feeling
jonesing for a jump.
Yeah. Well, so obviously, Sunday and Monday were both beautiful days. I had some family issues going on at home, so I stayed on the ground. Um, but I mean, things are what they are, and there's not a whole lot I can do from here. Just I wish all the best to my wife, who's not doing well at the moment, and hopefully she has a speedy recovery. But while I have everybody's attention for a moment, this isn't Ask Me Anything, so everything is on the table, right? But got to give a shout out to the channel members on my side of things. Good to see Renee Six in there, Jeff Wingett, Jason, KD2UDR. Um, if you haven't already done it, please make sure you go and subscribe to the Live Free and Ham channel as well. I appreciate all the love and support, but you got to share the wealth, right?
Yep.
Go give the Live Free and Ham channel a like and a subscribe to.
Well, now that we finally hit 500, I mean, literally, like, it was kind of almost ironic because we did a recording last night. For those that are Patreon members, know that we're doing these live streams, private live streams for our Patreon members, so they can come and hang out with us and engage us in the chat, which is pretty cool. It was fun. Ted W1TED joined in, and he bumped us over the 500 mark. And then I looked this morning, and 2 people unsubscribed. So for whatever reason, they were thinking like, hey, I'm gonna wait till they hit 500 kind of thing. And I just took a peek at it. We're back up to 500. So appreciate all the love there, guys. Always fun. So, well, with that, good that, obviously things are on the up and up with your wife there, and we'll send some good prayers and thoughts. And as Todd said, if we can figure out how to get over there and take that damn plow off the lawnmower, we'll go over and mow your lawn too. We'll have to figure that one out. I'll bring over a tool set and we'll go from there. If we have to go, whip out the torch, so be it, man. It's just the way it goes.
No, there's no torch in the John Deere.
So cool. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to throw it over to Todd there, man. Now you're over some of your technical difficulties there, but what's been going on with you?
Well, I fixed it without your help because with a Mac, it just works. Just let it sit for a while and it'll just turn on. So haven't figured out. I don't know if my headphones are plugged into my docking station or not. I got to fix these wires. But I'm glad I'm here. Glad I'm on the big screen now and on my regular camera and not my laptop camera. Been super busy. Baseball is like out of control right now. It's the middle school team ended, but All-Stars started, and I have playoffs for the town Thursday, Friday, and Monday.
Wow.
We win the first 2, we won't have to go Monday, which I'm hoping we will. We should, because we smoked them last time. And then the following week, we have our first tournament, and we also have the Quad Town playoffs for the rec team.
You guys just make up tournaments just to fill your time with?
I don't know what
because I feel like you do.
I'm just being told that they're all these tournaments and stuff. So
you have to go to the Tri-City town of the Quad City area.
And then this weekend, he has his Zach has his travel team playoffs all weekend. So we have at least 4 games this weekend. So that should be fun.
So I feel like there's a Johnny Dangerfield like line in here. Call us when you don't have any more baseball kind of thing or something. I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out. But
Yeah. Anyway, so ham radio's been on the side. I did buy a new Jeep. I traded in. I never thought I'd trade this Jeep in that I had, but my wife got a Grand Cherokee lease with part electric, and I went to the dealership just to see what the Jeep was like in the same version, and I just had to have it. So the thing's awesome. It's got 375 horsepower. I drove to work and 3/4 of the way back, and I only had 95% battery. So hopefully tomorrow I'm all charged up. I'll see if I can get to and from work on just electric. But it's kind of like a hybrid, and it was cool is the dealership let me keep my tires from my old Jeep, because when you buy new cars or lease new cars, they always put those shit tires on that last like 10,000 miles, and I had just bought those tires last year. So I'm like, do you mind swapping out? He goes, nope, we'll swap them out for you. So got my old tires on it, and it's running well. It's good. Now I just got to figure out how to put the ham radio back in.
yeah, that another challenge. Like,
Well,
it's the old adage, if it ain't
what-
broke, don't fix it. Well, with Todd, it's just, we'll break it and we'll fix it again. No problem.
Well, let me tell you this. It's just one more thing now I have to add to my to-do list of things to get done. So I really need to take the summer off again because I just don't have time.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll get it installed either way, because I know you're obviously probably at this point, like Paul's having withdrawals, not, flying the friendly skies. You're going to have withdrawals, not being able to use your microphone. And,
I know, two days in a row I do my commute and I don't have anyone to talk to. I went to grab the mic. I'm like, oh shit, it's not there. You get in the habits, and this is what you do. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, things are going to calm down once we get done the next 2 weeks with these playoffs and these multiple games. I'll just have the one team, and we're only doing 2 tournaments or 3 tournaments over 3 weekends, and then it's over with. So things should calm down a little bit. And then typically with my work in the summer, it's kind of quiet. So I'm hoping that happens. I'm dealing with 2 big cases right now that I'm kind of swamped with, but once those get taken care of, things should go easy at work, and I should be able to do some POTA at lunch. And did you do, Eric, the rail trail today?
I said I would text you if I did. I did
Oh,
not.
I thought you were just blowing me off. I was
No,
like, how come
I
you didn't
couldn't do
text
that.
me?
Dude, it's POTA. Why would I ever blow you off? It was like,
I don't know, just to rub it in like, oh, I got another 50. Like, you're way behind now.
I would never. Come on, dude. I did that once for you. So you think it's going to become a common occurrence? No. We're gonna get to the finish line together if we have to hold hands all the way there.
No, it was I got caught up in work again today, so I was kind of bummed because it was so nice out, and I wasn't able to get out there. But the bag is in the Jeep, and it's ready to go. So
All right. Well, if I know in the next 2 days I'm going to be able to be down in Boston, so I might do a POTA down there, and I still got to finish up that stupid antenna. Well, not stupid antenna. But I have to finish up the antenna review because I scrapped the original one, all together because I hated how I did it. So I'll have to spend the time making sure I get that at least recorded so I can get it out there. So that's on the spool antenna for those that might not be aware. But we'll eventually get out there. I mean, I got to do a POTA too. I'm feeling the same way.
POTA withdrawal.
Oh God,
It's a real thing.
it is a thing, man. It's a thing. And actually, we got a couple of things. Let's just catch up here in the chat real quick. I saw Shannon in there. She's obviously on the prowl because a certain Todd hasn't sent her the shirt size she's been requesting. Did you see that email?
I haven't been.
Yeah, she's looking for your shirt size, dude. We're supposed to get our official, Hillbilly Ham Radio uniforms.
Oh,
And yeah, she's looking for your shirt size, man.
sorry,
Now.
Shannon.
Make sure it's pink, Shannon, and it's tight.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a fat ass, so I need like a triple XL. The
You heard it
double
here.
XLs are a little tight.
Okay.
I'm working on it though.
All right, that help you there, Shannon. now you can go to, you can rest at night completing that order.
Shannon, I'm really bad. You got to text me if you really want to get me, because emails are not the way. I get too many emails, and I mean, I probably have 30,000 emails, and I just stop looking at them. So I apologize. I'm trying to get better with it, but it's not happening.
He's an equal opportunity ignorer because he does the same thing for us too. So that's no problem.
Yeah, it's not just you, it's everyone.
It's everybody. Oh man, cool. And I saw, who did I see there? The Kevin K0 KLB's there in the chat. Good to see you there, Kevin. And there is a definite question here that we'll get to in a second from I just started and now it's gone. I forgot where it was. Chris sent something directed at me, and I think I'll answer that one for you in a bit once we get into the AMA section of this. But outside of that, it's good to see everybody there in the chat. Definitely glad to have you guys there. So, for me, like I said, POTA, it is, on my to-do list, sadly, and I keep bumping it down. And I am kind of annoyed with myself because today was a freaking awesome day. And my wife even texted me, was like, how come you're not working on content stuff? I'm like, you should be out doing a POTA or something like that. I'm like, good point, darling. I'm stuck here at my freaking desk. I can't do it. And so, of course, that just set me off and made me more mad. So, at that point, even my wife is trying to encourage me to get out and do more POTAs. So, eventually we'll get there. But, outside of that, we'll get around to it. I got a bunch of other crap. You can't see it in the back because it's blurred, but I've been working on a bunch of other projects that I'm trying to get video for and get into my truck because I've been dying to get my all-star node set up, and that's finally coming to fruition. So all good there. So awesome stuff. And, what was the other thing? Oh, well, either way, we'll get around to it. But I think, before we dive into the illustrious AMA and those that are in the chat, if you want to throw in a question, just put the letters AMA before it so we can tag it. And that way we'll get it into the list there. And Chris, actually, man, he's on fire tonight. He's got a lot of questions. Let's he was just thinking way ahead of my, like, do you have my script, man? Because that's the next point I was going to be talking about. So if you haven't heard already, the Live Free and Ham guys, that's us. We're going to be doing a 24-hour POTA. We finally decided to get, this in motion and start putting the grease to the wheels. So in September, 6th and 7th, we are going to invade Greenfield State Park in New Hampshire. And we are going to set up in a pretty excluded area. You'd say it's kind of like off the beaten path there, Todd, where we're looking to set up. Yes, no,
What?
The campsite.
I lost you I didn't hear you for a second.
Oh, okay.
I don't have my headphones on because they're not working, so I just lost you for a second. What'd you say about the
campsite? I was going to say we're in a kind of an excluded area of the campground, right?
Yeah, so it's really a cool place. It's going to be like either in this parking lot where my flying club sets up for the float fly. It's right on the lake. And if that doesn't work, or we think that that's not the best place, right to the left of it is a big grass field where we could set up there, and they're right like near the bathhouse, so you can use the bathroom and get water and that kind of stuff. But it's a pretty quiet place. It's great that the ranger, or whatever you call him, Alec, he's a really good guy, and he's pretty low key. He doesn't care about he says he's seen a bunch of us up there activating the park, so he knows a little bit about it, and he'll probably come and hang out with us and join in because he actually lives there. Across the lake is he's got the ranger lives in a house over there. So, but yeah, it's cool. It'll be quiet. There won't be a lot of people there. There could be some campers, but it's not going to be like prime time where the place is packed and tons of kids running around and going in the lake and stuff. So.
Yeah. So with that, so we're going to be doing a 24-hour POTA. So Saturday to Sunday, we're going to do a full live stream. And the goal is to just have fun. We're going to get it catered. So if you're interested, and Chris Bricker posted, go ahead.
I want to go on it. You keep saying that we're going to get it catered. What does that exactly mean?
Well, there's a couple of companies like
people coming in and feeding us,
no, dude, I don't know about you, but I am not interested in cooking. I'm interested in drinking, sitting by campfires, socializing, and playing radio, and not in that order per se. It'll be a mix of everything throughout the whole entire 24 hours. So my ultimate goal is not to have to worry about food. And so like HRCC does their campouts, they have a, company that, they include in their campout fee. And so we're going to do something similar. So what we're trying to do right now is kind of gather just rough head count, in essence, if you're interested, Paul, I don't know if you got the link there that you could scroll down at the bottom. We'll throw it in the chat too as well. It's 24H-POTA this time. It's not 24 hours spelled out. So if you grab the URL again,
please come, because
All right.
I don't want the three of us. We'll die if it's just like the three of us who have to do 24 hours of calling CQ.
Yeah. Chris, we would love to have you from Ohio. So even if you're outside the state, it's not just New Hampshire or New England only or Northeast only. Everybody's welcome. If you're a part of the Live Free and Ham community, or even just, you want to come hang out because it's a cool camp out in the Northeast, it's literally in September. So it's going to be cool weather. It's usually like fall weather. So it's awesome, like temperatures during the day, and then it's cool at night. So you don't like die of heat. So it's always a good stuff there. And so, Paul threw that link there. So just head over, fill out that quick form, just so we can get you in the list, and then we'll, reach back out to you once we finally get, more of a head count, and the like. And so if you're flying in and you're from the outside and you're not, and you're looking for accommodations, let us know. We can, kind of help you out there, and get you on board. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be freaking awesome. That's the way I'm looking at it. It's going to be, it's going to be epic. That's just the way you have to look at it. It's period. Epic.
It's going to be like a POTA field day.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, my voice has slowly been recovering just from a cold. I guarantee by the time we get to, September 7th, 6th and 7th, I'm going to be like, hoarse and not able to talk for like a week and a half, because I am not going to shut the hell up. So all good. So yeah, so that's the 24-hour POTA. So if that excites you and you want to join in, please come. We want as many people, that are interested in coming. Bring your families, if you want to come solo, or if you want to come for the day and operate, we'll have like plenty of time, and you can come on, and we're going to be doing a bunch of giveaways too. So I'm going to reach out to a couple of vendors, see if we can get some prizes to give away for both on the live stream and the folks that are there. And hey, if there's an interest and people want to do a custom shirt, I'm game for it. We could put something together. That'd be pretty cool. Sweet. All right. Well, with outside of that, Chris, is there anything else you want to continue to follow my script there, or, should I just continue on? I just want to pause to give you a second there to catch up. All right, cool.
Well, while you're pausing for Chris's questions, what are the libations this evening, boys?
Oh, okay. Well, I am doing a mix of water and one of my favorite beers called Aspect Oriented from a brewery down here called Spyglass. If you've ever been to Nashua, or you're in this area and you look me up, I am happy to, bring you there, send you there, wherever. I love their beers. They are a great bunch of guys, great brew place, and awesome food. So, I'm doing that with a little bit of water on the side. So what about you, man?
Well, so when I visited Mr. Carlos Felix, Life at Terminal Velocity, he gifted me this bottle of Three Floyds. It's called Blood Forge, and it is made in Munster, Indiana.
Oh, that's a cool
yeah.
bottle.
So that's what we got.
Very cool. How's the mouthfeel with that?
So interesting, because so it's 66% corn, 30% rye, and 4% malted barley. And typically, bourbons with rye, I'm not a fan of. But this is really good. It's a little bit higher on the proof scale. It's 102 proof. But yeah, it's good. Just a little bit of water. I don't have ice, so just a little bit of water opens it up.
Nice.
And,
cool.
Yeah, it's very caramelly.
Nice. Todd, you still working your energy stuff, or what was the stuff you were working before? You had a bunch of salt things you were going over cold.
I'm drinking my I don't know what it's called, lemon. It's electrolyte drink mix. It's grapefruit salt, because I'm always dehydrated and drinking water. And I drink a lot of water, and I get dehydrated. I don't know what the deal is. I probably drink close to a gallon of water a day.
Holy crap, dude.
I know, it's crazy.
Did you ever get to do anything besides head to the men's room?
Yeah, I go a lot. Yeah, he goes right through you. It's kind of like drinking beer. It's like when you break the seal, it's all over.
It's done. Let it flow, as they say. Oh man. Well, hey Sharon. Oh man, sorry about the surgery. Hopefully nothing too crazy there, but good to see you in the chat. And thanks for hanging out with us. And hopefully, you got that shirt size written down there, so you can get our official uniform coming. We're looking forward to the Hillbillies uniform there. I definitely got all the stickers just recently, so I'm pretty psyched.
Yeah, and hey, all the best. Wishes there for the surgery.
Yeah, good luck.
Yep. All right. Well, so with that, before we get into our AMAs, and I know we're going to bump this down the list, we always love to run, something extra with Todd. And so,
come on, it's live. We're not doing that tonight.
Come on, dude. You've only done it once, and at this point, you got to at least try 3 times. Maybe you'll do better this time. It's possible. Come on, do it for the crew. Do we have to make the chat force you?
Oh God. All right, fine.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Well, with that, then, we're going to kick this off. Here we go.
It's everyone's favorite segment.
And now, a little something extra with Todd. W1STJ.
Still a general.
On computer, work with me here. Where is, I think this is the one. Let me just make sure. No, that's our live poll. Come on. Where the heck did oh, you know what? I never created it. Dang it. We did it for our live stream and I didn't create a scene here.
Oh.
Let me fix this one here extra, So Todd, you can start, cramming in the next 5 seconds here. I'll create a quick scene and get this thing loaded here. Oh man. All right. Todd.
I'm glad that I got ready before you were ready.
Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, man. It always makes you look better, so I'm happy for it. All right, there we go here. Guys, just bear with me while I do all of this wicked magic in the background here. Speaker, come on. All right, let's go Grouch here, big screen.
And Chris is right. There's nothing wrong with being a general, but we just love to give Todd shit because that's fun to do.
Yeah, and Todd takes it on the chin pretty well, so we're good. All right, and let's go add myself in here so I can actually pretend like I know what I'm doing. All right, screw this. Ready? Okay. Transition. Okay. Why are you offline there, Mr. Grouch? Add to scene. There we go. Maybe if I do it the right way here. Let's do this. Go here. Get rid of this trash. There we go. See, this is how the world of YouTube behaves here, guys. Everything's all good. Okay, there we go.
Hey!
Hey. See, I know what the hell I'm doing. Let's see if Todd does.
All right. So, your favorite VE Quizmaster here with Todd's first random question from the extra class question pool. Todd, what is the purpose of connecting Zener diodes between a MOSFET gate and its source or drain? Is it A, to protect the substrate from excessive voltages? B, to protect the gate from static damage? C, to provide a voltage reference for the correct amount of reverse bias gate voltage? Or is it D, to keep the gate voltage within specifications and prevent the device from overheating?
Ooh.
And a little matrix background.
There we go. I'm going to make it a little technical.
Wow. God, I don't remember this one.
Zener diodes. Huh. Okay. I don't know. Man. Well, so we're going to throw in a little bit of a layer here, man. You can phone a friend or phone a chat friend if you want to do that. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for it?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go with C.
Man, B seems to trigger something here, but yeah, I think it's more C, but I'll go with B myself here.
All right. Well, Todd's answer is C.
Aw.
C is incorrect. Eric's answer is B, and
Oh,
B
there we
is
go.
correct.
Wow.
So
Okay.
to protect the gate from static damage.
Static is
So
not your friend.
if you remember that static shocks deliver kilovolts, you might hastily choose the distractor, which is to protect the substrate from excessive voltages. But that's wrong because the substrate is sturdy and not at risk. Instead, you need to protect the gate from static damage.
See, you should be happy, Todd, because I've been listening to HRCC's podcast with Leah trying to do all of that, and she's just been getting week after week all of the, the maps of, resistors and flows and schematics. And she's like, she spends 45 minutes describing every line and every squiggle and like trying to tell the audience. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to fast forward through this one. It's fast forward through this one because like it's a long dissertation if someone tried to explain a schematic.
All right, Todd. Well, you struck out on your first attempt. That's okay.
Okay, no
All
problem.
right. Question number 2. Which of the following can be measured by a 2-port vector network analyzer?
Ooh.
Is it A, pulse rise time, B, forward power, C, filter frequency response, or D, phase noise?
Ooh. Huh. Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know. I'm thinking forward power seems right. I mean, that's usually what you use those vector network analyzers. So a filter frequency response might be closer to that.
That's what I'm thinking. I was thinking C.
Yeah, let's go with C, my friend.
Both of us?
Sure.
All right.
Let's both be wrong.
All right.
Hey, there we go.
Damn.
Nice. All right, now you got to definitely crash on the next one because you don't want to hear the song. But I'm all for it, my friend. Bring it on.
All right. So for your explanation, all of the other answers can be measured with only one port. Noise can be measured on an oscilloscope. Pulse rise time can be measured on an oscilloscope. Forward power needs a special power meter. So silly hint, 2 ports, 2 Fs, filter frequency.
Cool.
Oh, I hate these.
Oh, yes. These are all the.
You jinxed me with it. At least it's not one of
Sorry.
those charts. All right.
I know, right? It's not a full schematic there.
All right. So we got figure E6-3 here. All right. And so you've got 6 images in front of you. In the figure, which is the schematic symbol for the NOT operation? Is it A, 4, B, 5, C, 2, or D, 6?
Scroll back.
Remember, you're looking for the NOT. Which one of those symbols is the NOT?
Like, look at 4 and 2. They look so similar. So dumb. Came up with these things. All right, I'm gonna go with 2.
What
C.
are the choices again, Paul?
So
go
C is 2.
5 looks better for me, but yeah. So B.
Oh, and
Yeah,
look at that.
correct.
Todd did it without the music.
Oh wow, dude! There is hope for you. That's awesome. you don't have to have a confirmed aid when you actually do the live.
Just looking at
All
the
right.
matrix going, I'm like, oh.
I know, right? It'll
So
tell you
Todd
everything.
said C.
Ugh.
C is incorrect. Eric, what did you say? You said 5?
B. Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
B is correct.
Yes, the electronics class, the NOT gate, not.
So here we go. If you look at the figure, all right,
Yeah.
1 is an AND gate. Number 2 is a NAND gate. Number 3 is an OR gate. Number 4 is a NOR gate. Number 5 is a NOT gate. And number 6 is most similar to an amplifier.
Not.
It is not applicable to any of this.
Oh, well, okay. So I got the 2 out of 3, my friend. Bring it on. I'm waiting. I love that song. There you go. There you go. Awesome. All right. Well, dude, no problem. I mean, better than last time. I mean, last live stream, you were 0 for 3. So this one,
better than our recording last night.
Well, true, but yeah. Well, so yeah, you are improving overall the live stream, components. So good, good for you, man.
I haven't studied in like a week and a half. It's really been bad. I gotta just start doing it every day. And
this is the circle of trust, man. We'll still love you because you're a general.
If I get my extra, then what is everyone gonna do? They're all gonna be.
We're all going to go to the, we're all going to go to the extra bands.
They're not going to watch the podcast. It's all going to crumble and fail, and it'll all because I got my extra.
Yep. Well, hey, that's totally fine, dude. In essence, we're going to continue this kind of spin off. So, we're thinking, when we go, even if Todd gets his extra, we're going to go to Hamfest. We're going to do live streams from them. And so we're going to just do the segment like we did when we went to Nearfest. So, be prepared if you think you can, go toe to toe, we'll kindly reward you. We'll say that way, if you actually get 3 out of 3. I know the last 2 people or 3 people that we interviewed, one of them, one of the generals it was a general for like 7 years ago. So the test had changed at least twice, I think, in his entire time. So, it kind of really, egg on his face. So, all good either way. So, it was cool. So, all right. Well, we've got a bunch of AMA questions. So again, like if you want to ask us anything, and tonight is everything goes. We've got a bunch of AMA questions already starred here in the chat, and I can't figure out how the heck to find all the starred, options there. Can you figure that out yet? I did star a few, and so I guess we could start from the top there if you want to throw a few out there.
I don't know where the stars end up.
Yeah, they don't. They don't show like
format.
a list. I'm like, can I do a search for a star? Anyway. So as we, oh, you know what? Hey, if you do
hold on,
do a filter. But go ahead.
Okay, so real quick, the ladies, the SOTA ladies.
Yes,
that episode just dropped on Monday, right?
Amy and Paula. Yep.
Yes, Amy and Paula. All right, so Jeff, wing it. Check the most recent drop that went out on Monday, and you'll see Amy and Paula because Amy's the one that's in Oregon.
Yep, Amy's in Oregon, and Paula is over Ohio or somewhere Michigan area. So
wasn't that the first time they actually saw each other?
Yeah, they've been conversing. Yeah, conversing via phone and text and everything else like that. So it's pretty cool to see that connection. But freaking hey, Amy is like, she's the boss, man. Like she just like, hey, we want to start something new, and she's like off doing a 5-2 like within her club contest, or she just emailed me back thanking me for sending her the link for the episode early, and she's like, oh yeah, I already did 3 mountains in the area that are like 3,600 feet. I'm like, dude, man, thanks for just rubbing it in. I feel bad already. It's like, I'm still sitting here on my couch and you're already, hiking every night.
I still think about when she was saying like she did like multiples. Like what'd she say? She did like 5 summits in a day?
In a day, yeah. Paula was like 7.
Paula said 7, yeah.
7, yeah. I mean, that's crap.
That's boss lady big time. I mean, like
Eric,
that puts a POTA rove to shame.
We had trouble driving every 3 miles to get 7 in, and just POTAs, let alone hiking mountains and stuff. That's impressive.
Yeah, dude, they are
hardcore,
awesome hardcore examples of ladies in SOTA that put us POTA people to shame. My gosh, I mean, we complain about how it rains sometimes. I mean, they're going out and she goes out, like Amy goes out by herself too. That's like high super level kind of stuff. So it's awesome. So anyway, just keep in mind, the Queens of the Mountain is June 7th, I think it is. I'd have to go look at the stream, and I do apologize. I am actually speaking out of turn. Let me pull it up real quick. It is June 7th and 8th. So all like YLs are going to be out doing SOTA events and, calling out Queens of the Mountain. And so, definitely do get out there, support them, help them out, make contacts with them. And ladies, if you're interested, head over to, search for AG7GP. That's Amy's call sign. And that's Alpha Golf 7 Golf Papa, or K9IR, which is Paula's. And they've got all that stuff on their QRZ page. You can check out more of that. And dude, they were just awesome. I loved having those ladies on, and it was pretty cool to just, to have them outshine us, because they really did, man. I mean,
truly inspirational, like 100%.
Paul's diving. Paul's jumping from the sky, but like these ladies, man, they're kicking ass and taking names, everywhere and anywhere. So it's all good. All right, cool. So those that, if you haven't paid attention, just throw AMA and your question there in the chat if you want us to answer it. And again, it is the cuffs are off. So everything goes there. And if you figured it out, you just go to the filters under comments and you just start, and you can get our first 2 comments. So I'll let you run the show there. There you go. So yeah, we learn something new every time we fool around with this stupid software.
There we go. All right.
So cool. All right. Well, so let's go with the first one, I guess. So, go ahead, fire away, Mr. OG there.
All right. So Chris Bricker wants to know, first of all, I gotta know, is Eric going to sell his FX4C?
Man, after throwing that poll out on my channel, I got a lot of replies back and even a few direct emails going, "What is wrong with you, you idiot? Do not sell that radio. Like, there is no need to trade up to the FTX1F. You're not going to get more out of it. That's a great radio." And, guys, you're right. Like, I am literally thinking, I'll sell my DX10, because my DX10, a great radio, but in essence, it's just sitting in a box. I haven't used it in a year. I'm not going to put it in a go box.
That's not your field radio?
No, dude, I have 2 891s, the FX4CR, so see how we're the list, and then I have the 6400 here at the shack. So the DX10 just does not get love. So maybe I'm going to find a new home for it. So if you are looking for one, I'm going to post it out there, or just hit me up on our Discord. I'll be glad to kind of work out a good deal with you, because I'd love to find a new home with it. But I'd love to be the same radio that the N1OG has made famous now. I mean, like, if you haven't paid attention to his channel, we obviously know what happened with that certain 7300. Do tell, my friend.
Well, all right. So yeah, I guess now we can put it out public, right?
Yeah.
So last year, I acquired the elusive and coveted ICOM 7300 that belonged to one Mr. Shane Hale, that somehow fell off of a table because he had his coax too short and his antenna fell over.
Yeah.
Now I've enjoyed that radio. I put portable zero rails on it. I bought a bigger case for it. But yeah, hobbies are expensive. Radio is expensive, but skydiving is like 3 times the cost of freaking radio.
Yep.
So this side of the radio is going to a new home in California, and so Ham Wilderness with Frank has agreed to purchase that radio from me, and I will be shipping that out in the coming days.
He's purchased it, but he's also taken on the very big stewardship of owning such a famous, radio, and he is going to have to, take care very, very, and pass on the lineage going forward beyond him if he decides to ever pass it on. So, there's something to be said about that, man. I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, absolutely. Just add to the sticker collection on the radio, and have some fun with it, and then it'll be like the brotherhood of the traveling radio. that fell off. Again.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not call it the pants. This is not going to be any feminine, feel good type things. It's just going to be hardcore blowing explosions and everything else, and beer and cocaine, as Paul says. If it doesn't have any of that, then it's not worth it.
And if anybody's looking for a great deal on a 706 Mark II-G, I just put that up on the Discords, $350 plus shipping, or come right here to Rochelle, Illinois. I'm kind of in the center of the world right now, and you can pick it up in person.
Man, Chris is throwing down the hardcore stuff, man. I know Frank has a really bad booger issue with, soldering. We've all seen
his
it.
Solders are terrible. It's terrible.
Thank God he won't have to worry about that with the 7300, but just in case, we'll make sure that Frank, it consults the people that know how to handle the right side of an iron.
Yeah, Frank, listen, I'm putting that out there. If anything needs to be fixed in that radio for whatever reason, please have somebody else do it.
I know, right? Exactly. Go fund me if you have to. It's the way it goes. Do not damage the lineage. You're going to kill it. So, yeah, cool. Awesome. All right. Well, hopefully that answers your question there, Chris. Thank you again for throwing that. And if you just joined the chat, throw AMA and your question in the chat there, and we'll make sure we start and ask it. And again, it's no holds barred, so it goes for all three of us. And whether it's on our channels or, even in with Live Free and Ham, feel free to ask away. So what do we got for the next one there, my friend?
All right. So the next question comes from Andy Bronson, and he wants to know, what are your favorite antenna to use for POTA? Not by the beach.
I was going to say, we know what Todd's is.
So not by the beach. That was specifically outlined in there. So
I don't technically say I have a beach antenna, but okay. All right.
Oh, 100% I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's throw it over to Todd first. Yeah. Todd, what is your favorite antenna? Should we have the chat guess?
Yeah, they should guess. They should know. If they watch us, they should know. Come on.
Yeah, there we go. Come on. Let's see what people say. Throw it in the chat.
What's my favorite antenna? Anyone?
Come on, you hardcore listeners. Come on, we all know. Okay, so while we're waiting there, go ahead, Paul. You can pick it up and. Oh, geez, Chris, come on, really? The questions there.
Yeah.
Paul, go ahead. What's your favorite antenna there, buddy?
Okay. Well, so because I haven't physically received my prototype antenna, my absolute favorite antenna for not on the beach is the Reliance Bug Out Mini, end-fed half wave, 40 through 10, and I've got the 80 meter add-on element to it. So 100%, like I could put that antenna up. I don't ever have to bring a tuner out with me. It sets up quick. It just performs really well. As Chris Bricker can tell you, it's a great antenna. It works.
It does, man. Yeah, dude, Matt creates some awesome stuff and very good for the price and what he puts out there, man. And he will bend over backwards if you meet him directly, if it's face to face and say, hey, I'm going to buy this antenna. He'll throw in like everything else, including the kitchen sink. So yeah, you're definitely well covered there with Matt. And we love Matt over Reliance. Oh man, that's a tough one. Like when I get the chance to actually use my Bug Out Mini, because Paul's always throwing his up every time we go out anyway, so I don't have to take mine. Mine I think has barely ever gotten out of the bag. I think my vertical go-to is definitely would have to be, man. I was going to originally say the Wolf River Coil, but I've been leaning more
he
towards.
He specifically said not the beach. So you got to think like and the normal places that we activate where there's tree.
And normal places. So when I grab, my bag, antenna bags, my go-to antenna, I think, is going to be the Mad Dog Coil 80. So I'm thinking the vertical Mad Dog Coil 80. I love that antenna, man. It's small, it's portable, it's light, and it's built like a rock. And so, being able to make adjustments to it, the collar sticks where it's supposed to. Like anybody who knows the Wolf River coil, like your collar after a while gets bent and tweaked, and it never really kind of looks nice after long use. But I love that. That vertical is my go-to. I always use it, especially because it takes me like 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, it takes me like 5 minutes to set the damn thing up. So yeah, that's my go-to, man. And if you haven't been over to, Mad Dog Coils, check them out. They're an Australian company. And if you want to get a good discount or, get a couple extra collar clips and stuff like that, head over to my channel. I got a cool link there. But so has anybody answered in the chat what Todd's go-to antenna? Really?
So,
wow.
Hey, Eric, real quick, you out of those, you didn't like the res antenna?
Dude, no. Like I had a lot of time with it, and I'm kind of like that res antenna. Like if I was activating in the ghetto, dude, that antenna would be an awesome weapon. That thing is built like a tank. It's solid. It's literally like indestructible, and I wouldn't have to worry about defending myself if I needed to. But as Paul can contend, when we took it out to do that head-to-head test, man, the damn thing would not tune up the way we wanted to, no matter what we tried. I mean, it was like pulling teeth. It was frustrating.
We fought for that with that antenna for over an hour just to get it to within like a usable SWR.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
And that's not, anything to slam against the antenna. I think there were some other issues related to what we were doing and stuff like that. But because I remember when I did my review on it, it didn't take me long to tune it up and get it set up. But it's one of those things like where if you've got a Wolf River coil, you've got an adjustable whip. So you can adjust the whip for length for SWR. You can adjust your, collars. But with the res, it's just the collar. Like your antenna is usually pretty much
they sell it though with an adjustable whip on it.
Well, the one I got was the mill whip, which was basically which was a nice whip. I loved it.
But you can get you can pick which one you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would bet, right, that like the MPass 2.0, which I also own.
Yep.
You have to have a tuner.
Yeah. You have to have what?
Tuner.
You have to have a tuner because you can't dial it in close enough with that mill whip.
All right. Well, with all these antennas, if those of you who don't know, my go-to antenna is the Buddy Pole Pro.
Come on, guys.
Now listen, that thing will tune. The only time it's a little bit more difficult on 40, but all the other bands, it tunes to a T. And once you play around with it and you figure out how it works, and you can adjust the one raised radial, and I mean, I get that thing tuned down pretty quickly. It's so compact. It's a tripod. Everything it fits in my day pack with all my POTA stuff, and obviously it's not as small as the bug out mini, but I've been in parks where you're not allowed to throw shit up in trees, so the vertical works. And it has saved our asses a few times when Eric got his.
Oh, we're gonna go down this road.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Go ahead, bring it up. Fine, anything goes, man. Anything goes.
What was
the
that?
One day I take it out of the box.
He takes it out, and we spent like an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours, trying to get the thing all set up. It's gonna be awesome. And then it wasn't really his fault. They gave him the wrong length or whatever. So we're like, we're already here at this park. We got to activate this thing. We're not leaving with all this time we spent here. So we pulled out my antenna and voila.
It worked. Yeah. Well, that was the Buddy Hex Pro. So that was the one I just bought. Finally got it. They sent me the wrong 15-meter element. And so we couldn't figure out how and why it wouldn't fully complete the circle and connect. And so, yeah, we just kind of, bailed quickly, set up the antenna, and started operating with the Buddy Pole Pro. So it was still in the same family, so I didn't feel so bad.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. I'm not trashing that antenna because I love that thing. That thing's awesome. Yeah. But yeah, I use the Buddy Pole Pro, and I mean, the negative is you gotta adjust it and change it to switch band. So the bug out, you can just flip around. So that's a positive. But like I said, if you're looking for a good vertical antenna, I mean, I've hit North Pole, Alaska many times from the rail trail in Nashua, New Hampshire, on 100 watts, 5.9, using that antenna. So
Wait a minute. I just saw something pop up there about, if you can throw it up nice and high. I've seen Paul throw stuff straight up in the middle of the air and never going close to a tree. So we need to address that one first. It's, we need to work on your arborist skills.
Yeah, no, that was me trying to show off in front of Salty Walt, and lo and behold, like instead of just getting it over the tree in the first shot, it went straight up.
I was not there for that one, but I heard the story and I was like, oh man, I'd feel embarrassed too. So
well, I had to put it in the video because it was too perfect to not put it in the
video. Yeah, dude, it was gold. That was definitely gold. Yeah, dude, you're Buddy Pole Pro. So I'm gonna have a kind of confession here. My Buddy Pole Pro that I bought off of Paul, I haven't used more than once, but I used it when I was in Maine when we went on vacation at a hotel, and it was perfect. It was set up outside, and nobody noticed it because it was kind of in the fountain garden area, and the only thing they saw was the coax running in the window. But yeah, it's in my truck. It's my spare backup antenna. So if the shit hits the fan and all my antennas fail, including my ATAS 120, that's my go-to antenna. I'll pull that one out and we'll start operating with it. And I'm sure it will work perfectly fine. So
See, I've got a military antenna bag. And that's my backup, my oh shit, right? So if I can't put a wire in a tree, or if I'm on a beach or something, right? Then I've got the option. I can either choose the Wolf River coil or the MPass.
Yep.
I have them both in the antenna bag. But 9 times out of 10, if I can't put a wire in a tree, I'm just going to go with the Wolf River coil because it's easy.
Yeah.
It's quick.
Now, I'll throw the caveat out there with the Wolf River coil, with the way the bands are these days, where it's like so like tossy-turny, like, you're on the ocean in a bad storm. I always like center load all of my coils, and I get way better. It gets more broadbanded, gets way better in terms of being able to hear the weaker signals. So if you got the options to be able to get a couple of threaded rods, then, add that to your kit, and I guarantee you'll get, better, you'll hear better, your bandwidth will be much better. And you'll get better reception reports, guaranteed. I've always had some really good success when I center load my coils. Okay, we're adding some interesting things here in the chat that I just kind of see flying by real quick, and I'm just going to ignore them. But anyway, all right. Well, so hey, if you just joined us, appreciate you joining in and jumping in. This is obviously our AMA, so feel free if you're interested. And again, this is no holds barred. Ask us anything. Just put your question in the chat. Phrase it with AMA so Paul can tag it there and we can ask it. And again, everything goes. So like whether you want to talk about Paul's skydiving, Paul's Todd's coaching style, or whatever you got for me. I don't know. Feel free to ask. Everything's
coaching
open.
Style.
Hey, why not?
All right. Well, so the next question that we've got in the lineup is boxers or briefs, boys?
Dude, come on. That's an easy one. Boxers, man. No way. No briefs. Come on. I'm not that old.
Boxers.
All right. I will say I go back and forth between
Banana
boxers and boxer briefs because sometimes I like the extra support.
Oh my gosh. I knew that was coming. You old guy.
Listen. All right. I've discovered as you age,
the twigs and berries hang low.
Hang lower and lower and lower and lower. And sometimes on a hot, sweaty day, they get stuck to your inner thigh, and there is nothing more uncomfortable. And so, yeah, some boxer briefs, keep everything in place.
Yeah, I'd say, boxer briefs. I mean, when I think briefs, I think like tighty whities. Like, yeah, that's
that's my dad's generation, man. They had nothing better. That's what they were issued out of the military.
So the thing with like mine, like I either have like cotton ones or I have like the spandex kind of, depending on the weather.
Oh, man, I don't know if we
Hot
want
days, I like the
to
spandex.
let's like tread lightly on this conversation because I have a good impression of all you guys right now. I don't know if I need to have that mental image in my head right now, but hey, well, thanks, Chris. I appreciate this. This is really good, deep, connection. Anyway, all right. Well, so gravity's a bitch, Ted. Of course it is, man. That is for sure. Oh man, so yeah, feel free if you got a question, throw AMA and we'll make sure we tag it there and go from there. So outside of that, we got any more questions or are we?
Yeah, all right. But you guys gotta keep on top of starring things, so that way I don't have to
trying.
keep flipping back and forth.
I'm
All right. Next question. Chris Bricker wants to know how many antennas do you own? He says, I think I have about 13 now, most of them being end-fed half waves.
Okay.
Todd, how many antennas do you own?
Is that so? Let's ask a question. Antennas across the board, whether shack and portable, or just portable only?
He said, how many
Anything?
antennas
Okay.
do you own?
All right.
So
Shit.
I got to count.
All right. I got to think about this for a second. I got 1, 2, 3, 5,
6.
I got about 12 or 13. If you
Wow.
count HT antennas.
Oh, you're gonna count those two? Man, I screwed
They're
up.
antennas.
1, 2, 3.
I mean,
4.
yeah.
I'm close to 20, man. That's crazy. But
20?
yeah. So, dude, I have a 56, like just alone on my Reliance kind of family. I have the 56-1. I have an end-fed 40-1. I have an end-fed 80-1. I have a linked end-fed no, not linked end-fed. It was just a off-center fed 40-1. That's just the Reliance, and then I get into all of my Mad Dog, which I have the 40, the 80, the 160 coils. So yeah, it just keeps going and going and going. So
Wow.
I'm close to probably around 20, 25 at this point. That's
Yeah,
why I don't mind giving a few
I'm
away.
thinking I've got the antenna on the Jeep. I've got the ATAC.
Oh, I totally forgot the truck antennas too. So thanks.
Right? You got those two.
Yeah.
Right. Then I've got the off-center dipole that I use for my shack. I've got the DX Commander still in the box. And then I've got the Bug Out Mini. And then I've got another wired antenna I've never even used. I've got the Buddy Pole. And then I've got a whole bunch of HT antennas, which, I don't know if you want to count them, but
Yeah.
So-
he said antennas.
yeah, I mean, all right. I'm not counting HT antennas because I've got a stack of them about that thick in a rubber band at home. But so in other antennas, I think I'm probably in the like 12, 13.
I've got 2 Ed Fong antennas. So one is actually right here.
Yeah, the mask still.
Yeah,
What good
that
that's
one.
doing in the shop.
And then
I got that same one.
and then I've got this version that doesn't have the PVC. It's just the wire kind. And I actually used I brought that one to the Caribbean and I used it to get on some repeaters with an HT to get across the.
Wait,
I was
you
in
carried
St.
that
John to
Ed
get to
Fong
like St.
in-
Croix, huh?
You carried that Ed Fong in the PVC pipe?
No. The
Oh.
wired one that
just
you
just
hang
the
up.
antenna
Yeah,
side.
that
Okay.
unwraps.
Like, my gosh. How the
Yeah,
heck did they
no.
let you get through the
No.
TSA with that?
But there were some repeaters in St. Croix, and I was in St. John, and it's kind of like a distance over the ocean, though. So I set it
dude.
up, and I was able to reach it on a HT, so it was pretty cool.
Sorry to segue, but I just caught somewhere in some other YouTube channel. Did you hear the TSA's changing battery sizes again?
No,
They're going down to 8 amp hours is the max they'll allow.
8?
8. Like that's what I heard. I'm like, that can't be like I'm screwed because I have like a 20 amp hour and a 15 amp hour. Like, I mean, the only thing is,
They even make 8 amp hours.
no, they make a 9 and like Bioenno makes a 6 and a 9. Like, so what do I do? Like, is a 9 too much? 6 is not enough.
2 6s.
You want to know the solution?
Uh,
Don't
we
fly
just-
commercial.
Don't fly commercial. Thanks. Appreciate it. You know anybody who wants to fly me around if I want to?
Ryan.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Where did you see that? Did they
can't
already make
remember.
the
I'm trying to remember what channel I was watching. It was what QRP. Oh man, I can't remember. All right. Either way, I'll have to figure that one out. So yeah, I'll post it somewhere in our Discord. I know I saw it, and they were like getting into like the nth degree of like, why 8? Like most batteries are 9 or 16 or or 15 or that type of stuff. So it's kind of interesting that they go that small.
more government getting involved in shit they don't need to be involved with.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It's like, give me a break. You know what's ironic is like, so when I fly down south and I have to get on these like little, I call them the sardine cans, these like CR 900s. I can barely fit in them. They're like 1 seat on one side, 2 on the other, or it's 2 and 2. They're wicked small.
Yep.
They're so small you can't even bring like your carry-on luggage, right? So if you bring a bag, like a roller bag that you typically would throw in a over bin, you gotta check it at the gate and they put it underneath the plane, and then when you get off the plane they bring it up and bring it back to the the taxi or the walkway or whatever. So I'm sitting there thinking, a lot of people don't realize how small, they don't look at what plane they're going to get on. And I sit there and I watch all these people, and that they've got their batteries and shit in there. You're not supposed to put the batteries underneath the plane. But people aren't going through their bags and doing it. They're just like, oh, fuck it. All right. Yeah, take it. And I'm like, you would think that they would have to scan them to say, okay, you can't have this 15 amp battery in the belly of the plane, and if it blows up, we're not going to be able to get to it.
Yeah, exactly right. Once it catches fire.
I mean, TSA, and the TSA is one of these agencies that is got every airport is completely different. The rules do not apply the same to any airport.
Well, that was their point, was like, you could go to a TSA in different airports and they'd be like, oh, whatever, let that go. And you get to another one. They're like, sorry, dude, how'd you get this on the plane?
Yeah. Like, I mean, there's no reason behind, there's no, it's all different. So you never know. Like sometimes I get through with my POTA gear, like no problem. And then other times it's like, oh, what is this? What is this? And that's why I always say print out their freaking rules and show them, because the idiots that don't know what the rules are. And then when you show them their own paperwork, they're like, yeah.
All right. So I saw Bob in the chat, man, and I've been trying to get a hold of Bob for a little while. I don't know if you're getting my emails, Bob, but I gotta stop the train here for a real quick second. Bob has been a huge supporter of our channel. So again, thank you, Bob. I mean, we obviously have, and we didn't play it. So go ahead, kick it off real quick there, Paul. You have become a monkier of our channel here. And so we'll play that little clip real quick.
I'm sorry. He's a what? A monkier?
A moniker? Whatever. Moniker. Yeah, you know what I was getting. Sorry, the beer's kicking in, my friend. Go on.
You can join for as little as $3 a month. It's not a big expense.
Okay, so with that, I decided, once we were talking on an episode, that we needed to basically, model a shirt after Bob. So we wanted to, create a shirt that's called "Be Like Bob." So Bob, we want to send you this shirt. So you are our Patreon supporter. You have been, basically you've influenced a lot of people to just join and be part of the community. So we created a shirt in your honor. So I want to make sure, hey, do me a favor, email us at livefreeandham@gmail.com, because I want to send us a shirt size, because I want to send you a shirt. And this goes the same for anybody else. If you come up with other t-shirt ideas, we'll be happy to create it. If we create it, we'll send you your own t-shirt so you can get your own free t-shirt. But so this is in Bob's honor. So, we want to be like Bob. And Bob is one of our dedicated Patreon members. So, you want to be like Bob? Wear a Bob shirt, man. Wear it proudly. So, all right, let's drop that there from the scene here. All right, back to where we were. Cool. Okay. So, yeah, thank you again, Bob, for supporting our show. As always, we have literally made it. Oh, Cool. Yeah, we got Tortoise Overland, man, the myth, the legend. He is there in the chat. I did see him a little earlier. He just gifted us over on Grouch's channel there. So appreciate the gift there, my friend. So let's continue on. Obviously, if you just joined or you've been here for a little while, if you want to, ask us a question, throw AMA in the chat and your question, and we'll flag it and we'll make sure we go. So what else have we got for questions there, my friend?
All right. So before I throw the next question out, I just want to just announce who got memberships. So T.O. got a membership.
Congratulations,
Jeff, AA4BC, Steve, KO4AFL, Cooley, and George, KC1TQF, all got memberships to my channel. So thank you.
Cool.
Thank
Nice.
you, Mike.
Way to support. Awesome.
All right.
Always helpful.
And the next question actually comes from Mike, Mr. Tortoise Overland, and he says, "Is Todd ready to take the extra yet?"
We've already established that one. That's an easy layup, my friend. That's way too easy. We don't. Todd, how do you want to answer that one?
I already did. Not even close.
That's
Not
satisfactory
even
there, Mike.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Next question comes from Bob, and he wants to know, if money was no object,
Oh, I like those.
what would your shack radio of choice be, and what would be your mobile radio of choice?
Okay.
So let's do shack radio first. All right. So
All right.
Todd, what would be your shack radio of choice if money was no object?
Geez, if money was no option, I would get the shit. I'd get the Flex fully loaded with the amps and all the stuff.
Okay. You wouldn't go with your KX, series of like radios. You've been drooling over those for a while. Like all of a sudden it's like, now back to Flex.
What do you mean? What's a KX? What are you talking about?
Your Elecraft. You've been like Elecraft this, Elecraft that.
That's not in my shack. That's
No,
my
but
mobile
it
radio.
could be. You could do a K4. You could go like, a total elite, but you go in Flex. Okay.
No, I like them for the mobile.
Okay.
But he said shack, right?
Got it.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, I would go with the full board, everything that Flex has, the amp, all of it, even the Maestro, the whole 9 yards.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, we got a quick one here. Andy, thank you again for the $10 super chat there. Appreciate that. Good to have you there. Sorry, I'm glad we're keeping you awake, sort of. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but, hey, as long as we're keeping you entertained.
I mean, given that it's 10 pounds, I would assume he's in Europe, which is, it's almost 2 a.m.
6 a.m. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, dude, hopefully we knock you out so at least you can get up for work the next day. All right. Okay. Flex. I get, you kind of stole my thunder there, but okay. Paul, what do you got? I mean, you're the guy of, frugalness and ingenuity and whatnot. So this is a question out of your wheelhouse, really, kind of.
It is, right? So, I mean, like, I would have a really hard time justifying the cost.
You ever want to see?
However, I mean, like,
explode?
I suppose if somebody was funding it, they were like, "I will buy you any radio that there is, and you can have it." What is it? The Flex Aurora.
Yeah, dude, that's where I was going.
Right? Like, oh man, that is a sexy piece of equipment. It's just, I mean, it's not something that I would ever actually want, but I mean, if somebody was going to throw me a very, very high-end radio, that'd be the one, I guess.
Yeah, see, this is a tough question because, like, if you gave me a blank check for anything, like, my biggest problem is, like, not the radio side of things, because we all know we go to, like, an Anon or a Flex or a K4, any of those kind of, like, high-end radios. But, like, I'd be like, okay, dude, I'm thinking tower. I'm thinking, some multi-banded beam kind of multi-configuration setup. it'd be, if we're just talking radios only, I'd agree with you guys. Aurora would be the way to go. It would be pretty much the flex stack from top to bottom. So we would have the antenna tuner, antenna genius, all the flex products. I mean, I've got a 6400 here, and Todd's got one too as well. So we play in that space. We love it. I mean, it's a great radio. So I would, like Chris says, I'd step IR. I would probably buy 2 of them just to have fun with 2 step IRs. And maybe I don't know if they could be phased, but I'd try to figure out how I could phase them.
Where would you put those step IRs?
Dude, if someone's giving me a blank check, I'm like, dude, I want a piece of property somewhere in the middle of nowhere on top of a mountainside. Come on, we're going all out.
Property. They said they'd buy you a radio.
They would, but in essence, in order to have a proper radio setup, you have to have a good piece of property with low RF noise. Simple as that, man.
Wow.
So hey.
Just buy the radio. You're thinking of a whole property and
dude, blank check. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be like conservative and be like, oh, dude, the Anon is probably perfectly fine. Thank you, sir. No, hell no.
Okay, so now mobile radio. If somebody was going to buy you whatever mobile radio that you wanted, what would you buy?
Ooh. You can answer that one, Todd. We already know where you're going with that.
What, the Elecraft?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been thinking too. I kind of like that new Yaesu with the
FX1
100-watt attachment to it.
Optima.
But I kind of like the Elecraft too. So yeah, I'd go with the Elecraft.
Bob, why am I killing you? What did I do to you, man? What did I do to you?
You're cracking them up, clearly.
Okay. All right, cool. Hey, fine. Okay. Yeah. So you'd really go with the FX1 or the 1F or whatever it is. I mean, I'm calling this the Optima. It's called the Optima Gate in my mind because there's so much. Oh, it drives me bonkers, man. We could touch on it if we want to, but I have a feeling, there are a few folks that are a little soured by the fact that, the whole release of the Optima and everything else like that during Hamvention, basically, soured any of those folks. Like, all right, I'm going to get on my rant box here. I put in a pre-order. All of a sudden, when, they started to announce that the releases are out there, all of a sudden I got a confirmation saying I bought the radio and it's been $35 deposit's been applied to my account. And I'm like, I have no radio. I don't have a charge to my credit card saying that I bought the radio. I emailed HRO and I didn't hear anything back. But of course they used my $35 credit to apply to some other ham somewhere in the United States. I'm like, what the F, So yeah, that's another issue. And that's kind of
you were going to buy it.
I put in for the pre-order. So I basically slapped down $35 to say, hey, I want to be locked in. I got the email from them, put a video out saying I was considering it. I said I'd wait till after Hamvention, to figure out what the radio looked like because I wanted to see the reviews. All of a sudden, like day one of Hamvention, I get an email from HRO saying, hey, we've applied your $35 credit to your radio. Thanks for your purchase. And I'm like, what purchase? I don't have a purchase. Sorry. Like, where did that go? And then I started to hear
You agreed to purchase it.
Yeah, I agreed to purchase it, but I have not purchased anything as of yet. So yeah, I'm gonna have to follow up with HRO.
So your plan was to purchase it.
I wanted to get in on it because I saw it and I was like, this has promise. I'm still on the fence right now, and I.
Are you gonna get it with the?
No, the 100 watts.
You want to see my ham radio?
No.
Why not?
Dude, I don't know. Like, I'm struggling with this radio because I like it, but hate's a strong word. I dislike a lot of the reviews that people are doing with the radio because everybody's like, this is a great freaking speaker. I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like, I don't want to be able to hear it 20 yards away. I just want to have an operational radio in front of me that does, EME, that does satellite work, that does all of the things that I was hoping in a radio would have. So we're getting too far down this rabbit hole,
right.
But yeah, it's a sore spot right at this point. And so I'm selling my DX10 either way, but I don't know whether I'm going to put that money towards, the FX1 or not.
I can't believe you're selling your DX10.
dude, I don't use it. It's sad. It's like it just sits there. Like I feel bad. Like I don't want to be a radio hoarder. Sorry, that's like not my thing. I don't hoard radios. If I don't use it, it's got to find a new home.
All right.
Okay, so
All right. So
do we talk mobile? What's your mobile, Paul?
I would have to say, you know what? I'm completely happy with my current mobile UHF VHF. I've got the
Wow,
FDM
okay.
400 XDR. I absolutely fucking love that radio.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody was going to invest in, giving me a different mobile radio for the truck, I guess I'd take another 891.
Yeah, dude. Like
Right.
I'm really warming up to that, man. I have two 891s, and I love both those radios. I just can't tell you, like, would like both of those 891s become like the Optimas? No, I don't think so, because unless some manufacturer comes out with this great like remote head component, then maybe I'll jump on it. But like I just don't like I don't know. It's just I felt like Yaesu once again left me wanting more. I'm feeling bitter, man. I'm feeling bitter. I can't tell if that's the best way I feel. It's tough. So, yeah, 891s, dude. I would definitely, man. I would probably, if I had a mobile rig. Oh man, the 891 would definitely be the go-to. But I already have two of them. I don't need a third one. I mean, I'd like to get the new.
Why do you have two? One for in the truck.
One for the
and then
truck. Yeah, one's
Yeah,
permanently in the
POTA.
truck. The other one's my POTA
So
bag.
if you bought the Yaesu thing, then what were you going to do?
Well, the field radio was going to be just my portable QRP with waterfall kind of Yaesu radio. I'm a Yaesu fanboy. I like Yaesu menus. I like Yaesu rigs that, no matter how much I hate them when they don't listen to their customer base, I still will, subscribe to Yaesu. I mean, it's like the ICOM family above me sitting up there going, hey, ICOM forever. It's kind of like my thing, man. Like I just, Yaesu, I just like their interface. I want to root for the underdog. Is kind of sadly the way I look
You think
at it.
they're going to replace the 891 at some point?
I would be very pissed if they did with that. If the 1F became the replacement to that, I would be sad, because I don't think the 1F has all of the capabilities that it could. Especially the one thing that pisses me off the most, why can't you install a GPS chip in the damn radio? Why? Like, why do you have to sell it as an accessory? For APRS, like we've got native APRS, but you can't use APRS without the GPS, so, screw you.
Because they get more money from you.
Yeah, screw you. Then charge a little bit more for the radio then.
They're already charging a lot for radios.
See, so Mike basically says something he loves the 710. Now, I like the 710 interface. It's a lot like the DX10, kind of same functionality. Why is everyone comparing the 1F to the 991? Like, somebody tell me in the chat what similarities does the 991A and the F1F have? Like, I see more of the 710 than I do see the 991. Like, would you agree?
See, and I thought it was Yaesu's answer to the 705.
I thought so, but in terms of like likeness, everyone, even HRCC was comparing it to like the 1F looks a lot like the 991 in behavior. I'm like, I sat in front of a 991 and I don't feel like it acts like a 991. It acts more like a 710 than it does anything else. So, it's weird. I don't understand the relationship there, but maybe someone in the chat can, expand my mind a bit. Subscription radios? Oh, Chris, where are you going with this one? Oh, anyway. All right. So let me answer that one. So I would say I'd go FX4CR or K3, probably K3. Like I haven't gone in the Elecraft world. I would love probably an Elecraft radio. I mean, I'm not a CW guy, but I think it might push me over the edge to want to try more CW. That would be nicely paired with a nice modern Morse key with my logo. Yeah, don't rub it in. Put that down. Do not show this on the live stream. I don't want to see that. Put that thing away, you jerk. Oh, man. Yeah, I would say Yeah, that's a key that I got to get. Even just to have the key. It's just a beautiful key. Actually, people are putting magnets on the bottom of that. I was listening to a
It's
couple
got
other
magnets
podcasts.
on it.
Oh, does it? Oh, well then, oh, cool. Then
Yeah, it comes with magnets.
I see. Okay, fine. Whatever. Yeah, hopefully you're practicing your CW. That'd be a waste. Yeah, so I would get the new model of the FX4CR. Although, there would be some enhancements that I'd have to do on it. And Paul would obviously agree with me on this one. Get a fucking bigger mic.
Well, so I don't know if you've looked at the 3rd gen
I did.
FX4CR, but they literally they fixed every complaint that I had with the original. Right? They changed the power cable out. They changed the microphone out. They put the cooling vent fan and fins in, like 100%. Like if I could swing it, I would 100% buy the FX4CR 3rd gen. Like absolutely, that's a fantastic freaking radio.
Yep, it is. I mean, for the price and everything you get in it, it's like, I put a poll on my chat on my channel a while back asking, should I sell my FX4CR? And like I said, everybody said, what's wrong with you? You crazy. And they were right, because like, dude, that radio's got everything built into it that's really good. It's a really just like, it's perfect SOTA. So like my bucket list is this year, we're going 4,000 footers, my friend. I need something lighter, and I don't want to be carrying around the 1F. That 1F is a little chunky. It's a big boy. So, that FX4CR is going to be in my bag more than anything else. All right. So, okay. What else we got? We got any more in the stars? Any more chat, questions there?
I got nothing more that's starred. So unless you've missed a question, we're out of questions.
I didn't see anything. Chris didn't really have a question there. He was saying he was subscriptions. I don't know, subscriptions. All right, so this is not so much a question, but I would say, what's your thoughts? Should radios be subscription based? No.
Subscription based?
Yeah,
I got enough freaking subscriptions. I don't want to have to subscribe to my goddamn radio.
Well, even if it was like the FX4CR style?
No.
No?
What the fuck am I subscribing for?
Well, like so like I'm trying to think of a scenario that I'm trying to think in the like IT world that like Apple does this. Like you can renew your
firmware updates.
No. Like Apple does a trade-in program. Like every 2 years you get a new radio. Or you get a new iPhone or a watch or whatever. Is that something that's viable? Like I don't know. Like I might buy into something like that. It's like if the FX4CR was like that, I don't know. If the price was decent enough that I wasn't killing the bank every month, I might do it. If I could always upgrade the FX4CR to the next level without waiting in line for a new release.
Okay, so instead of a subscription service, it'd be like a radio lease, right? Where like you lease to
lease to own, yeah.
Right? You have it for a couple of years, and you could decide whether or not you want to like pay it off and keep it, or whether you want to trade it in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do. It might actually be an interesting business model, because some of the older people might want the older original models like of a radio versus like the latest and greatest, but like I might want to see all of the features and functionality, and I think that'd be kind of cool. I would really prefer to see more of the radios have a software based upgrade model, like so I don't have to go buy the next radio 4 years down the road. It's the base hardware is the same, and I just upgrade the software and I get the new features. How hard is that? But yeah, sounds like I don't know, Chris. You've been causing a lot of trouble tonight, and we appreciate it. Thank you. Well, I appreciate the voice there, Mike. Yeah, my voice is finally coming back. After these stupid colds that I got. I married a teacher, so those that know, that have wives, and significant others in the teaching field, they bring the diseases home. So I get the great.
Your wife goes and hangs out in a germ factory all day.
Pretty much, and I get to come home and say, hey, welcome, kiss, blah, and then now I'm throwing up or, coughing or barely, being able to squeak out a few words. So yeah, appreciate the thanks for the good vibes there, Mike. Yeah, I'm getting better. And, it's only now a matter of time that my microphone starts to act up and become a problem. So yeah, we're back to normal. All good. All right. Well, hey, if you guys want to throw in just a reminder, we're doing an AMA tonight. So if you got a question you want to ask us, just throw in AMA and your question in the chat there, and we'll make sure we start and we'll throw it in the list. So outside of that, let's kind of shift gears, because I'm sure people have been chomping at the bit. If you haven't been paying attention to Paul and his channel, which I'm going to have to bitch slap you for it, because you should be over there watching those videos, my friend. This is freaking awesome content. Give us an update, Paul. What's been going on? How's the journey been?
Well, all right. So I got a video premiering tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'll be honest, I can't tell you at this point whether that's 4 p.m. Central Time or that's 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This time change thing is kind of fucking me all up here. But this video is absolutely my favorite jumps so far. It is AFF levels 5, 6, and 7. And so this is post tunnel time, where I really got a good feel for how the wind feels against your body, and your instinct, right? Like you come out of the plane and there's nothing there, and so I've developed this bad habit of like trying to swim in the air, and like so I kick my feet.
Mm-hmm. Like a doggy paddle. Yep.
Yeah, and listen, you can't swim in the air. It doesn't work that way.
Go figure.
So I'll be working on improving my exits out of the airplane. But I gotta say, it is the most surreal feeling in the world to you're we exit the aircraft at about 13,400 above ground level, which equals the 14,000 above sea level. And so um, you look down and you see everything, right? And the doors open, right? And you hang your head out of the aircraft and you look down and you find your spot. And you go, okay, yeah, it is safe and clear for me to jump right now. And you climb out and you present yourself to the wind, because the plane is moving, and as the plane is moving, you've got the wind coming from the aircraft. And when you first exit, right, that's the wind that's meeting you, is the relative wind from the aircraft. And so exiting the way that I've been exiting, I've been twisting and turning, and I've been all over the place. But if you watch the video that premieres tomorrow, my AFF level 6, the instructor leaves just a little bit before I do, and it was the first time where I had exited the airplane, and I looked up and I actually got to watch the aircraft fly away from me. It is
Cool.
such a cool freaking thing to see. And like you just look up and there's the underbelly of the airplane flying away.
Mhm.
And then as the relative wind, settles and you flatten out, it's just the whole world is in front of you.
Wow.
Like it's absolutely amazing. So 100%, I'm so proud of AFF level 6 and that one particular jump. So everything that I'm doing from here forward is all going to be kind of modeled in that. But yeah, so tomorrow the weather is supposed to be maybe a little overcast, maybe a little bit rainy, so it's kind of up in the air as to whether or not I'll get up. But the weekend is looking good. So I mean, I should definitely be able to get probably 3, 4 more jumps in over the next couple days.
Nice.
Uh, I'm currently what did I say? So I got 13 jumps in the log. The first three were tandems, so that means I've got 10 that are on my own. So I've got another 15 to go before I hit the 25 that is required for the A license. I've still got a lot of boxes to check and a lot of objectives to check off, but I'm starting to actually have fun again. Which is that's a big deal, right? Like, dude, I had so much fun my first tandem. Like you guys were there. As I smack my mic, you guys were there, and right, that smile, that
Yeah.
that ear to ear, like that smile is back. Like the stresses of AFF levels 1 through 4 are now behind me, and I've developed some confidence, and I'm yeah, I'm loving it. I'm so glad that I didn't let my mind get in my way,
Hmm.
because let me tell you, dude, after my first fourth level, I was like, do I really want to do this? Like, am I really gonna be a skydiver? Like, I don't know.
Just do it.
And yeah, so I went to the tunnel. It helped build that confidence. Like now I feel a lot better in the air, doing flips and barrel rolls and all sorts of fun things. So yeah, just please, if you can, try and make that premiere. If you miss the premiere, check the video out after.
Yeah.
But by far, absolutely my absolute favorite jump so far. And so I hope you enjoy the video and the AI song that goes along with it.
Yeah, dude, you spend a lot of time writing your lyrics for those songs, man. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I expecting next for the next video in terms of the lyricist you are?
Yeah, well, so it's actually funny, right? I'm way behind on Weekend Warriors. For those that follow me and all the things that I do, right? Weekend Warrior podcast is it's what I call my group therapy on the interwebs. Um,
Mm,
so I'm kind of behind on that, but one of the things that my therapist had said before I had left the state and can't talk to her anymore, was that she was proud and pleased that in my songwriting, right, that I'm finding like a creative outlet,
nice.
and 100%, like, dude, when I sit down, I sit down and I do the song first. And so I write the song, and then I throw it into the AI music generator, and I go, well, that's not quite the sound I want. So I tweak, how I want it to sound. And I'll go probably, sometimes 5 to 15 different renditions of a song. And it's all the same lyrics, but
You're like a
like
producer. Yep.
the sound is different. And so you'll notice um, the the last video that I just put out, which
That was a
was
good one.
but that was actually, it was the same song, it was the same lyrics, but in two different formats. And so like the video was long enough that, like, I could put both versions of the song in it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I loved it. I loved it. I was so happy with it. Yeah, I like being creative, and I like coming up with these lyrics and kind of telling my story through song, and then putting the video to it.
Yeah, dude, good stuff, man. I love. I'm always enjoying, if not the skydiving portion of seeing every level improve and everything get better, but the audio just just makes it that much sweeter. So nice job on that.
All right. Well, thank you. And so let's get back to questions here, because now we've got some questions.
A couple.
Uh, all right. So Mike Tortoise Overland wants to know update on the 24 hours of POTA.
Yeah.
Um, if we want to share that link again, it's what, September 6th and 7th.
Yep.
Okay, so all right, then Chris Bricker wants to know, are those special shoes in my skydiving outfit? And so, funny story about the shoes that you see me wearing. They're actually they're a total fabric shoe with a rubber bottom. They were advertised as being a cross country running shoe, and so I bought them for that purpose. And then they ended up not having enough real traction to be a cross country running shoe. So I wear them to and from softball, and now I'm wearing them for skydiving just because they're so comfortable. And so yeah, so that's the shoes I'm wearing, and I could find the link for the shoes and I could put them in my video. Uh, but thanks for asking that question, Chris. Um, and then Chris asked another question. He says, bridge jumpers who survive always say they immediately regret nothing and come to terms with their life. Did you have a come to Jesus moment like that? And tell us about it. All right. So actually, like, it's not really a come to Jesus moment, but I will say I have never in my life experienced just being in the present moment with so much clarity and so much focus, like literally everything, all of the worries and stresses and everything that goes into day-to-day life melts away as soon as I exit that aircraft. I am purely focused on the feelings that I'm going through. And so there's peace and calmness and literally it lasts and lasts and lasts after the jump and after I'm on the ground. Like, it'll be 6 7 hours later and I'm still grinning ear to ear and I'm still just like in that clarity of mind. um And so, yeah, so I mean, I gotta say, I've met a couple other combat veterans that are into skydiving, and they echo the sentiment, right? That like literally, when you're in the air, nothing else matters. Like, it's just you doing what you're doing, and um,
You and
it's yeah,
Jesus.
it's hard. It's hard to put into words, but it's an absolutely amazing feeling, and
See, we got to come up with a nickname for you because obviously, Carlos is Parachute Jesus. Maybe you're Apostle Paul. I mean, that might work.
well, Paul was an apostle,
He
so
was, and so it's like goes hand in hand, man. Both skydiving. Spreading the great good news of skydiving. And ham radio across the nation.
yes, absolutely. Yeah,
If you
I,
think
I
that
will
sticks,
100%. I will be Carlos's apostle on
yeah,
that one.
throw one in the chat. If you think that's gonna stick, we'll make it stick. I think it's Apostle Paul works well.
That's funny.
All right. Well, okay, cool. We got any more questions there in the
Yeah, so I got one more question here that starred. Bob Koff asked, uh, "This is for Paul. I'm 71 years young, so
Mhm.
taking that into consideration, how easy would it be to break a leg or worse upon landing after a parachute jump?"
Well, if you wrap your
Uh,
leg in your parachute, wires, you might possibly break your leg.
well, listen, it's not to say that I didn't do that, but
Mm.
um, no, I have had one hard landing so far. Um, but they teach you in the ground school, and Carlos did a very very good job at this. The parachute landing fall, aka the PLF. And if you've watched any airborne training videos or anything like that, like, you will see them. They spend a whole week where they stand on a box and they jump into a pit, and it's literally like you land. It's balls, calf, like the balls of your feet, calf, thigh, buttocks, back, and roll.
Yep.
Um, and so if you do that, right, then your chances of getting hurt are much less. Um, if you have a nice, smooth, soft landing like I did for AFF level 6, then you land on your feet, and that is an amazing feeling. Like,
Hmm.
to just you just glide in on a nice level canopy, and you slow yourself right above the ground, 4 feet, 5 feet, and you just touch down nice and easy on your feet. It's beautiful. Um, but Bob, listen, at 71, I'm not encouraging you to start the AFF process. I would say, listen, do a
Try
tandem,
tandem.
right? Do a tandem. You as long as you can get your legs up for landing, you're gonna come in. The tandem instructor is gonna slide you in on your butt, and so yeah, you're not gonna get hurt in any way. And I encourage you, do it because it is a life changing experience.
Yep, totally. All right. Well, hey, if you got a question, feel free, put it in the chat. Put AMA, prefix it with AMA, and Mike just dropped another one in there. So go ahead and pick that one up.
All right. So Mike wants to know, question: what is your most memorable VHF QXO and
Surprise,
why?
surprise.
What is your most
VHF.
Most memorable VHF
We
QSO
know
and
Todd's.
why?
Yeah, you guys know mine.
You got to tell everybody. Those may not know. I'm thinking cookie sheet. Canada contact, right? That what you're
Yeah,
thinking?
yeah.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, when I was a technician, I had an HT for a radio and a mag mount on a metal roof with the coax running out the window, and the bands were in one of those funky things where they were cruising, and people were getting like New Jersey from New Hampshire on VHF, and so I got all excited. I started going through and finding different repeaters, and I thought I had a Boston repeater. And being up here in New Hampshire, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And they were doing a net, so I I joined the net, and they weren't in Boston; they were in New Brunswick, Canada. They were 850 miles away, and me being a new guy, I thought they were just messing with me. I didn't really believe that they were in Canada until I got the QSL card, and yeah, 850 miles away, and I was on 5 watts with an HT with a mag mount on my metal roof. So that was pretty memorable.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, dude. Those are the. I'm trying to think, man. VHF contact. Um. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, actually no, that's an HF one. I can't use that one. I was
I also
thinking.
think talking to Eric on VHF is very memorable
Thanks.
when he answers.
Hey, dude. Usually I'm around, and most of the time I'm homeward bound, so I'm not always on the repeater or whatever. But I'm trying to think. Oh yes, I have to say there was a couple of SOTA contacts that I made. I don't have the call signs, and I can't remember them, but the one was on Mount Washington. We hiked. Was that Mount Washington? We hiked. No, it was what's the one in New Hampshire where the ski lodge has the tram that goes up to the top of the mountain? What mountain
Loon?
is that? Loon. Yes.
Loon.
We went hiking with the family in last summer, I think it was, or summer before that, and I had my HT, and I figured, okay, we're not going to get that far on a 5.2, and I think I made a contact somewhere south of Massachusetts or somewhere there, and I know I have that one is in my log, and that was always fun to be able to be on a mountaintop and do it over 5.2. So yeah, I need to do more. Like, I did not hear a single thing. So Mike's a big VHF UHF guy. He did that 6 meter challenge on 525. I had my radio up and running all day, and I did not make one contact. I was so bummed. I didn't hear anybody. I don't know what it was, but yeah, there were a few people in the New England area that did. So, it was good to see, that we were making contacts on 6 meter FM, but I have not yet made a 6 meter FM or even a sideband contact. How about you, Paul?
Well, all right. So I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, VHF. I guess it'd be a toss up between AF1T Dale and there was a time where I was coming home from Gorham. So those who are not from familiar with New Hampshire, Gorham is kind of like the very northeast kind of. It's up there, and it was about a 3.5 hour drive home. I was just a little bit south of the notch, the Franconia notch, and I from the truck I heard a station calling from what I thought was Mount Washington, and it actually turned out to be that the guy was on the Ferris wheel at Storyland in Jefferson, New Hampshire. He was on the Ferris wheel, and so we had a quick little QSO on my drive home from my truck south of the notch to him being on the Ferris wheel at Storyland, and that was just a really cool QSO. I don't I don't remember his call sign or anything. I didn't log it because I was driving, but yeah, that was really cool. It was memorable for sure.
Now, if
Very
you want
cool.
to talk about digital, I did. Carlos and I had our first digital contact on America's Link on Wires X, and I was just driving home, and the local repeater that was someone had switched it to America's Link, and he was on there, and he called CQ, and I answered him, and then that was the first time I talked to him, and then we didn't really know, that it was each our first time kind of doing that until he came on our podcast, or we were on some podcast I was on with him, and he was like, "Yeah, that was my first time. I totally remember that." Because I was telling him, I said, "You got to come to Pepperell so I can work you." When he jumps out of the airplane, I can sit there and try to get him. But yeah, that was kind of cool. And again, those were times when I was just a technician and I didn't even know half the things I was doing. So I thought, the Wires X and getting on, being able to change the repeater from your radio to change it to whatever whatever group I wanted, and then end up talking to him. So that was pretty cool. It was just kind of by luck.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, we got a bunch more. So if you're in the chat there, we still got 20 going strong. So appreciate everybody who's hanging out with us. And, it's been a blast. I love answering questions, so feel free to ask anything. And if you want to, just throw it in the chat, just frame it with, the word question or AMA. And then that way we'll just start to make sure we get it in the list. So we got a couple more. So go ahead.
All right. So you started George's question here about asking whether or not I was able to do telehealth with my therapist.
Mhm.
So just to add a little context to that, if I was in New Hampshire still, I could do telehealth with my therapist regardless of where she is because I am in the state that I am receiving treatment. However, now that I am no longer in the state that I am receiving treatment, I am not able to do telehealth.
I love our medical.
It's yeah, you got to love, whether or not insurance will pay for it or not, and that's the whole thing there.
You could just lie and just tell them you're in New Hampshire. They're never gonna know.
Yep.
Well, so I had a conversation with my therapist about it because I do enjoy I enjoy talking to her. She's an Air Force veteran, so there's a lot of things that um, I'll throw it out there, and while she may not totally get it, like she understands my sense of humor, and she understands that I'm not being serious sometimes, and when I am being serious, like she gets it. So. But anyways, yeah. So because I am in Illinois, um, yeah, I can't see her via telehealth at this point in time.
Yeah, got it.
The concern there, right, is if say hypothetically, right, worst case scenario, something was to happen where I I wasn't right in my own mind, and I was struggling in a really, really bad way. If she needed to send somebody to come check on me, right? Like if I say I'm in New Hampshire and I'm not, then she's going to send people to where I'm not,
Right.
right? And so that it's a safety thing, and so I understand it and I get it.
Yep. Totally. All right. Well,
Okay, next question. Bob Koff asks, how often, if ever, do you guys run QRP?
what is QRP again? I forgot.
Well,
I know.
let's just say for the sake of argument, it's 20 watts or
The
less.
20 watts or less. Okay, we framed it the right way, because if any of you guys are like it's 10 watts or less or milliwatts, I don't want to even talk to you. Sorry, that's not possible. Yeah, I know there's some diehards, but yeah, 20 watts. I mean, FX4CR I took, and actually I'm just trying to finish up a video on that. I took the FX4CR back out again. It's my beach portable radio, and so I wanted to do an actual beach activation with it, and the wife was like, I need to go to the beach. I'm like, okay, I need to bring my radio, and it was a match made in heaven. And I forgot, man, it was when the bands were crap, and 20 watts does not get you far at all, no matter how good your freaking antenna is. I was just like, oh man, I really wish I had 100 watts. I really wish I had 100 watts, but well, I'm warming up to it. I'm going to take like I promised all my listeners and subs that I would take the FX4CR back under my wing, and we're going to work it through its paces. And I'm going to, start to become, more of a, radio that's in the rotation there. So, stay tuned with that. But yeah, I'm warming up to it.
It is a great
So,
radio.
I don't. The only time I really used, well, for when I do POTA and I hear someone call out and they're saying they're QRP, I always try to reach them, because if I can hear them, I want to give them the contact, because they're working harder than I am, I guess. So kind of partial to that. But remember when we were doing the FT8 off?
Mm.
You would get points if you did
Lower
10 watts.
So, yep. Yeah, we
I
all
always did.
lowered our power, I bet.
I lowered. I actually did. I didn't cheat.
I did too, and then I bump it back up. But anyway,
Yeah, and then I get more points when I was like, all right, this is cool. But yeah, that's really the only time.
Okay, so playing there. I know Paul has run QRP when he didn't know he was running QRP, but
Yeah, 100%. I have accidentally run QRP. I don't run QRP often, but that's because I don't have a QRP radio. And so obviously, if I have the ability to run, 80 watts to 100 watts, that's what I'm going to do.
Yep.
But yeah, there's been more than a couple times where I had the radio set at 5 watts.
Poor Izzo.
Yep. Yeah. No, but hey, listen, Izzo was a freaking trooper and a half, because he was like, dude, I don't understand. He's like, why aren't people hearing it?
I know. I come to this park all the time.
Well, we were in a hollow,
Mhm.
right? For one thing, so like we're fighting the mountains around us.
Yep.
But 5 watts from Connecticut to the Netherlands, I would say that's winning QRP style.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
5
true.
watts. That's what you were at.
Yeah.
5 watts.
It was probably more like 3.5, but yeah.
Yeah.
That radio was not pushing. Like, it was like, oh yeah, 5 watts. Yeah, suggestion.
Yeah. No, the radio was set to 5 watts. And so, yeah, that means like, because you're sideband, obviously you're not peaking 5 watts. You're,
Nope.
2 to 3.
Your antenna is like, what are you trying to do to me, man? Come on, this is nothing.
But I will say 100%, like, because I do have the drive to do SOTAs. I want a QRP radio. I have my heart set on the FX4CR, but I may get the QRP Labs
one.
QRMX or whatever. Right?
That's a good radio too.
It just, I mean, it's only, I think it peaks at 10 watts, but a fifth of the cost. So
Right. Yeah. But, there's not much trade-off. I am not going to be hauling up a laptop. I'm probably not going to remember, I'm an Apple guy when it comes to phones, so I'm not going to remember to bring my Android phone up with me to do FT8 on the FX4CR. So it's going to be sideband. So, you're already in the right, boat, with the QRP Labs one anyway. And it's probably a hell of a lot lighter than the FX4CR. Not that the FX4CR is a brick, but
it's not. It's a good radio.
yeah, it is.
All right. So Bob also wants to know. He says he prefaces his question by saying that he should probably already know the answer to this, but do you guys all live in New Hampshire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Paul will never live in Mass again.
He is, but he isn't.
Well, listen, my residence is in New Hampshire. My house that I am paying the bank
The Grouch
for,
Command Center.
my house is in New Hampshire. The Grouch Command Center is currently located in Illinois.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am not we'll say I am not a born and raised New Hampshire person. I was born in Mass, and I defected as quickly as I possibly could once I realized I loved or hated to love the Mass state. So I went north and stayed in New Hampshire, and I will never look back.
Yeah, me too. I was born in.
You booed me for it. Come on, man.
Sorry, that's the Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to find the booing for Massachusetts.
Nothing against Mike and Tortoise Overland, but dude, I'll come visit you, but I won't stay long.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, we got any more questions? So again, throw a question in the chat. Just phrase it with question or AMA. We'll make sure we get it started and keep this train going. So again, everything goes, guys. You can ask anything. Doesn't matter. We'll expel our wisdom on how to run a YouTube channel.
Or not.
Yeah, or not. Right. Exactly.
All right. So Chris Bricker did have a comment that got starred here, and he said that he has never had anything memorable yet. I assume he's referring to Mike's question on the VHF contact. But he says the Grouch breaking my cherry is the only memorable radio event.
I had to star that because he constantly kept saying how he was making FDA contacts on 10 watts or less. And I'm like, come on, I know you're a sideband guy now. You can't ignore that.
And honestly, I mean, that was a ton of fun. It was great to see the progression, from the first contact where, you could tell he was a little unsure, he was a little nervous, to the 51st contact at the end of the activation where
professional,
like he was just he was rolling and like, okay, yeah, all right, contact's over, yeah, QRZ. All right, let's go, let's get that pile up.
All right, well, this one's a tough one. Not a really tough one because I think we all share the same sentiment, but go ahead.
It's Eric hair.
Oh,
do we have to go to that level? Of course not.
All right,
I'm bald
Doug.
as, we're all pretty much the bald crew, we save in, what we save in shampoo, we expend in razors, Does that change your mindset of us? No, probably not.
Unfortunately, male pattern baldness is a real thing.
Dude, it happened to me at 20. I was like, oh crap. Oh well, time to shave it. Not going back.
Well, see, mine at least it held off until probably about like 32, 33 before it started to get really noticeable. Where even growing it out and doing the comb over, it was like, no, you can
Mike.
see the gaps in the hair.
Appreciate the blindness there, Mike. Oh my. Oh, that's why I wear hats in your honor, man. Sorry. Yeah, dude, I had a mentor who was also a ham radio operator in Boy Scouts. He was a bald guy, and he always used to use the phrase, this isn't male pattern baldness. It's a solar panel for a sex machine. Now, I don't know whether or not he was sexually active, nor did I want to know, but it always kind of stuck in my head. Yeah, dude.
That's an odd thing for a Boy Scout leader to say.
No, not really. Come on, come on. In this day and age, you fill in the blanks there. But yeah, I always stuck in my head. It was a great mentor, good ham radio guy. But yeah, he said it once, and it always stuck in my head, and I can't get it out. Obviously, it's still there. Oh, so cool. All right. Well, if you've got a couple more questions, we're going to keep wrapping up here. We're getting into the 2-hour mark here. So, we definitely want to keep answering your questions. If you got those dire questions you want to ask about any one of us or Live Free and Ham, feel free. Mike still got the hair on his head. Yes, we noticed that in all your videos and are quite jealous, my friend.
But he said, but I've coached kids that can grow fatter than me.
The mustache rattles.
Is anyone in the chat from New York
besides Mike?
Other than Mike?
Other than Mike, yeah. Because Mike, I wanted to tell you that I was in Albany over the weekend, and I didn't have time to do POTA. I was pretty upset, but I gotta tell you, your New York teams are a bunch of effing cheaters.
Oh boy, here we go. I don't have the clip. I can play it.
Here we go. So I do the scoring for my son's travel team, do it on this Game Changer app. And I go see these kids, and there's 3 kids there, and they're like my size, and one of them has a mustache, and they're supposed to be 12. And I'm like, why do you have 2 number 23s and 2 number 9s? The guy's like, oh, I don't know. It just they must have screwed up on the jerseys. So the kids belting home runs. They made a fake birth certificate through AI and showed the teams that he was 12. And one of the parents of a team that they went to the finals with found their website and found out that the kids were 14 going on 15.
Oh, God.
So what a bunch of cheaters. It's like, it's 12U baseball. Like, why are you setting your high school kids in there?
Isn't that how they set the precedents to become Yankees players?
Yeah, don't even go there. I'm a Yankees fan. They don't cheat. They just dominate.
Yeah. Oh, right. Is that how cheating equals stop? Yeah. Okay, got it. I understand.
Brooklyn Bombers, go boy!
Or go you busted Yankees, whatever. All right. Yeah, it's not. Kids sports, man, are turning into.
And Mike, what I was more worried about was they're using these triple S bats, and these things got so much pop. I was like, these kids are gonna swing off this bat and gonna kill one of our teammates because they come off fast. And fortunately, no one got hurt, but I couldn't believe it. And I asked the coach. I said, check, and he's like, if they're gonna cheat, let them cheat. We're just here to to have fun and do this tournament. But now that the word got out, I don't know what's gonna happen with this team. But yeah, they were almost 15 years old. Crazy.
Well, they dominate the 13-year-old class. Good for them. Or
What'd you say?
12-year-old. They'll dominate the 12U class. Good for them.
Yeah, I know.
way to play down.
I know. If we brought our 15-year-old kids, we would have smoked them.
Yeah, I bet you would. Oh, man. Hey, Brad, I just didn't see you there in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you haven't jumped off. 7-3. Good to see you. Thanks again for hanging out with us. Brad's a good friend of Live Free and Ham. He's also a native North Carolina transplant, or South Carolina? I can't remember.
South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. Yeah, and he's got my 450, so I'm quite happy that it's found a good home there. And that was one of my first radios back into ham radio, and I love that little 450 Yaesu FT 450. Good radio. The D. Good, definitely a good starter radio if you're looking into getting into HF. All right. Well, hey, if you got a couple more questions, so we have a few there in the chat
Well, so we got one more start here. Bob wants to know, Paul, where are you in Illinois? Are you anywhere close to St. Louis, Missouri? I'll be honest, I don't know how far away I am from St. Louis. I am currently located in Rochelle, Illinois. So if you looked at a picture of the state of Illinois, I'm at the very top dead center of the state. So I'm about I think 45 minutes to an hour north, and I'd be in Wisconsin. 45 minutes to an hour to the west, then I'd be in Iowa. So yeah, my geography is not the greatest, so I don't know how far away I am from St. Louis,
He's somewhere in the state. Watch out for the Illinois Nazis.
but all I gotta say is when I leave here and I head back east, I am going as far south around fucking Chicago as goddamn possible.
Avoid it at
I
all
don't
costs.
I don't want the highway anywhere around freaking Chicago. God, what a nightmare that was.
Yep. That's a
Oh,
space to avoid. White knuckle it. And you hopefully your luck is not going to be the fact that when you get on the way back you have rain following you all the way home. But yeah, that would suck. But that'd be just the way, right?
yeah. I will say I am hoping that while I'm here, I would like to activate Illinois, obviously, because I'm in
Put
Illinois.
it green.
I would like to activate Wisconsin. I would like to activate Iowa. And then of course I've got to get Indiana. Maybe a quick stop in Michigan, because I think I can make that detour and hit a park in Michigan and turn.
Well, if you're
Michigan
avoiding
green.
Chicago, heck yeah, I might as well just make a really long loop around. Get
Big
yourself
horseshoe.
there. Yeah, hey, dude, nothing wrong with that. Just watch the gas gauge. So, all right, cool.
Dude, you want to talk about fuel? So it's, I checked my fuel economy not towing the camper, because I had to, obviously I've had to do groceries and shit. And yeah, no, I get on average like 10 to 12 miles a gallon,
Oh,
not towing.
Not
You wanna
towing?
Not towing. Towing the Grouch Mobile Command, I get 7.5 to 8
Oh,
miles to the gallon.
wow. You're like a dragster going down the quarter mile, man. Like they go through 8 gallons and like that.
Oh, I am seriously considering getting like an extra gas tank to put in the bed of my truck, just so that I can like fill that up and have that feed my primary tank, or like have a switch in the truck. Like, all right, so my second truck that I ever owned was a 1988 F250, and it had dual tanks, and I loved being able to switch between the tanks, and so I think I need to do that. Because yeah, this trailer is just a giant freaking sail, and it just catches all the wind.
Man, that's crazy. All right, well, hey, so
Well, you didn't start it, but I just saw in the chat there. Doug wants to know what truck I got. It's a 2007 Toyota Tundra, 5.7 liter V8.
there you go.
You should, when you're driving back, just get behind like an 18-wheeler and tailgate them.
Oh God.
Yeah, right.
That'll block all the
that
wind.
might work a little bit, although you have to be a long, draft off that one to be able to like make it worth his while. He'd have to ride that bumper really close.
Well, no, Todd's got a point. You don't really have to draft all that close.
No.
But for a good part of, once I got into the flatlands, right? Once I got out of kind of Pennsylvania, Ohio area, and I got into the flatlands, it was easy to kind of stay behind the trucks, because the trucks were doing 70.
Right.
And so yeah, so I just stay behind a semi until he was passing another semi, and just follow him.
Now,
Yeah, it makes a difference.
I was gonna say, did you do any measurements and just how long you can actually, wear it as a hat for, how many miles before your next exit, and how much gas mileage you'll save?
I will say, okay, so typically, now, all right, I'm a paranoid person. Okay, so when my truck gets to a half a tank of fuel, I start looking for fuel, because I don't like getting below a half a tank. And so normally that would be like about a 2-hour drive. Towing the camper, it's about 100
45
miles.
minutes. It's how much?
It's about 100 miles, so I'm stopping every hour. Yeah,
Wow.
and there was a couple times there, where it was really really tight, and I was looking for a gas station, and I'm like, come on, just give me a sign that there's a freaking gas station. Give
I
me a
know, right?
sign that there's a gas station.
Please.
Give me a sign. And then it's like, okay, shit, I'm down under a quarter now. I'm really stressing. Like,
Dude,
I'm
you need to invest
sweating.
in roto packs. Get yourself some roto packs to fill up at least 5 gallons so you don't ever have to get in that super panic mode. You can at least, put yourself over the mark to get to the next, 20 miles away. That's crazy. Wow. Or hey, diesel is the way to go, right? You learned that the hard way.
Yes, yes. For whatever reason, the gas stations are not designed for gas vehicles towing big trailers. Um, if I had a diesel, I could pull into the truck areas and I could have all the room in the world.
Yep.
But yeah, there was a couple of gas stations that I pulled into, and I was like, "Fuck, how am I gonna get out of here?"
Can't back up. Can't move around. Okay. Don't take a mirror off. Don't strip any paint. Yeah, I know the feeling. It's a
Yeah.
white knuckle scenario.
Oh, dude, Ohio. I pulled into it was a Pilot, and so I figured, all right, well, it's a Pilot gas station, so it's gonna be big. No, it was under construction, so half the lot was shut down, and so only the front gas pumps were available, and they were all angled,
Mm-hmm.
of course, right? So, and the way that they were angled, I had to like cut in real hard towards the building, and then like I got the truck and the trailer jackknifed
Oh,
just so
God.
that I could get the truck into the pump, and then I was like, fuck, all right. Now I gotta cut the opposite way really hard, and I gotta try and loop this around so that I don't catch the trailer
Mm-hmm.
on the concrete pylons that are blocking the pumps. And
Yep.
yeah, it was a couple times. It was sketchy as all hell, but fortunately I've been driving for a very long time.
Yeah. You learn your corners pretty quickly, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool. All right. Well, hey, if you guys got any last minute questions, we're going to throw it out there. Feel free, to throw AMA and your question in the chat, and we'll make sure we answer it. Again, this is a, open book. We've been asking Paul a lot of questions. Todd and I have kind of been getting off scot-free tonight. I'm pretty impressed. And I'm not going to get into my large debt that I owe BMG and Capitol Records for my, tape collection in my 80s, but we'll talk about that at some other day in the life of
Oh,
my
dude, I fucked over Columbia House
Oh,
at
God.
least 3 times.
yeah. They knew me by 4 different names. We'll put it that way. There was always like I subscribed to 6600. Was it 6600 or 6400? The hackers book. And would pick that up, and there would always be a way to screw Columbia House out of the latest tactics, and this is how you go do it. And hey, dude, that was a dawn of the mixtape. I was either good at recording off the radio, or I was good at buying cheap tapes from Capitol Records and all the other stuff to be able to record the one song I wanted on a mixtape. So all good. Well, Mike's got a question here. Let's throw that there. We'll oh boy. Yeah, worst antenna. Wow. Huh.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right. I like this question. Okay. So Mike says, what is the absolute worst antenna that you've used but still made contacts on?
Dummy load. No. Yeah. That we've had many stories around.
Have
that.
you?
No, I've not made a contact on dummy load. I'll have to say that. I have made what was the first antenna? Oh, was it the 1982 or 1984? What was the one MFJ came out that everybody bought it? It was a piece of junk antenna. It was in 1982. It was a 40 to 10 end fed, had that little transformer box, and you always had to have it off of a small little you had a counterpoise to actually make it sit in the right, to get less than a 3-to-1 SWR. When I first set that antenna up, for whatever reason, when I wired it, I had the actual end-fed wire itself had come disconnected inside the case, and I didn't realize it because it was such shoddy made antenna that I was making contacts on this thing, and I couldn't figure out why the case was getting so freaking hot, because I was literally just pouring any RF into the base of the transformer and the toroid inside, that the antenna just had enough of a gap from where it was on the screw terminal to where there was a space, and it was like I was so frustrated because like everyone's like, oh, it's a great antenna, like you use that antenna on the field. So I took it out with me and I used it, and I was like, this sucks. And then I brought it home after a couple of days, tore it apart, and realized that there was just no antenna connection from the toroid to the actual wire itself. And I was like, so I was putting like 50 watts out through this antenna, heating this case up, and at that point I had no idea whether I fried the antenna or it was worth anything at all. So yeah, that was my worst antenna. I would never recommend that to even my enemy. That was the garbage antenna. Hot garbage.
Well, I made some contacts without any finals on field day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's not an antenna problem.
What?
Well, it could have been. It could have been.
That's not an antenna problem.
Mm-hmm.
It was hooked up to an antenna.
A good antenna too. We couldn't figure that one out
That's
at all.
probably why I was able to make the contacts.
Dude, yeah, you made
Like 5.
Pennsylvania, a couple of like stateside contacts who were like, why is it that you're not making contacts? This is like, you're like, the radio's great, I don't understand. And I'm like, we're hooked up to my hex beam. If anything, you should be able to hear everything, and you're hearing nothing because you were barely putting barely a watt out at that point. Oh man, that was a bummer.
Absolute worst antenna ever. Ready for this one?
Yeah.
The Buddy Pole Deluxe.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, dude, you never liked that antenna when you bought it. I'm surprised.
I used that antenna twice,
Mm.
and I fucking hated it. Absolutely hated it. It was a giant pain in the ass to set up. It was a giant pain in the ass to get tuned. I bought additional clips and all the freaking things.
You say it's a pain in the ass to get tuned.
What a piece of shit antenna.
Like 3 minutes.
Well, dude, you've had a lot of real seat time with that antenna for a while. Do you remember when you first had it? You were like, why can't this freaking thing get tuned into the right spot when you're trying to do 10 meters or 20 meters? And then you finally figured out what you needed to do to make the sweet spot happen.
Yeah, you just move the whip up and down and adjust the radial in or out. Seems to work.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, those little clips. I subscribe to Paul and those little clips. They fucking suck.
Yeah, those clips
What
suck.
were they thinking? Like, oh, let's take a small little clip that you could get lost in the grass and put it around a very thin wire to make the connection. Not a good design. So
yeah, no.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, do we, buddy? Sorry, not sorry. Well, hey, Tortoise Overland. Hey, that's the nice luxury about having antennas out there. For everyone that hates this one antenna, there's 5 that love it. So, all good. Cool. All right. Well, hey, if you got any more questions, like I said, we're about 2 hours and 30 minutes into this, and it's been a blast. And thank you guys for all supporting us and hanging out with us tonight. It's definitely a good conversation, and hey, I've gotten off scot-free so far, and I'm gonna leave it open to folks. Feel free, ask us anything. I'm not kidding.
And hey, I just gotta say, much appreciated the channel memberships and super chats. Like, dude,
yeah, thank you guys.
All the support really it means a lot. It really does. It means a lot. So thank you.
Yeah. Dude, YouTubers, so it's funny. Paul and I have been having sidebar conversations on the YouTube kind of universe and all the crap that's going on, and dude, it's a slog. I mean, those that have the channels that really want to put out good content, it's tough, and so we always love it when people just are like, hey, dude, I love your channel, I love your support. They're great support because it really means that yeah, we're actually doing. Chris, come on, drop the boxers brief stuff. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Where you can one track mind, my friend, one track mind. Yeah. So, thank you again for, like Paul said, for supporting us both here at Live Free and Ham and all of our own channels. And you know, once Todd finally finishes up his baseball career, you know, I think he'll start putting out more videos. Hopefully, I know he's got a few out there. They're definitely sitting in the queue.
I know
Yeah.
I'm long overdue for a ham diary.
Yeah, I haven't done one in a while either. So yeah, we've been slacking in that area, but you know, but we all have been super busy, and you know, I've been even slacking on my channel. Like, it's funny because like I got super ambitious and started pumping out videos left and right, and I had 3 or 4 in the queue, and it's like, okay, cool, I got a break, and then Paul started putting videos out, and I'm like, oh, I can watch Paul's videos. I don't have to do any more videos for a while, and great. Uncle Elon got him again. Yep, Uncle Elon got him. Damn it.
Screenshot that one. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
that
too.
one I got a screenshot here. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this one. The other one was pretty good. This one definitely takes the cake.
It's almost like it's almost like Uncle Elon knows like it's time to call it a
I know
night.
the
'Cause,
batteries
like,
have
last
worn
night,
out.
it was the same thing. We're just about to end it, and he froze.
I know, right? Yep. So actually, that's a good segue. So hey, if you haven't learned, or you aren't, Patreon member, of the Live Free and Ham channel, we have a new feature that we're offering to all of our Patreon members. We are now private live streaming our, recorded sessions. So we usually record most of the time Sunday nights. With a variation pending on, holidays and other stuff and schedules. But, we'll post up on, if you're a paid Patreon member, we'll post on Patreon. We'll post on our Patreon Discord channel. Man, there we go. Wow, that was a long pause, my friend. Holy crap. Like, I got a perfect shot of, I'm actually just going to share my screen. This is
We're gonna have a whole
gold.
we're gonna have all these shots of Paul's like frozen.
This is
Uncle Elon got me.
Yep. There we go. Yeah. It worked out good. There we go. Pull this out of the scene. Yep. Remove. Go back. Cool. Yeah. So we'll have to add that to our Bill Belichick jersey. The 5 signs of Paul. Oh, cool. Thank you again for
Damn.
5 gifted memberships there. For is that your? Yeah, it's your channel there, Paul.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. So Chris Radio Life got one. Eamon, MI7 DJT got one. Christopher Giguinto got one. Jeff Wingate. Hey, congrats, Jeff. James T. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Yep, definitely. Thank you guys again. So, oh, geez, Mike, man, you're just laying it out. Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you again for the 5 gifted memberships on my channel, my friend. Looks like Ron Goot and Jeff, Alpha 4 Bravo Charlie, John Kill, and Mike gifted himself a membership. So, good job, Mike.
Hey, all right. Good job, Mike.
Awesome. Way to do that. A nice score there. And Roy Menard was the other one that we got there. So cool. Thank you again for supporting and helping us out. We always appreciate it, guys. And we are truly thankful for all the financial support and just being part of the community, dude. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, Kevin's got it on point here, right? YouTube algorithms can make or break a video. No matter how good the video is, we're at the mercy of YouTube.
Damn the man. Save the empire. That's my stance. Very cool. Yeah. So, all right, we'll do one last round of quick questions. Anybody got a rapid fire or they want to, die hard questions they want to throw our way? Otherwise, it's been a blast, and we'll kind of do a little wrap up and catch everybody else up, and put this bow on this for tonight. It's been a blast so far. So,
I know I gotta go get some dinner.
Yeah, same here for me. I gotta eat too. I know
You
Paul
guys
was
are,
eating
like,
earlier.
keeping me, like, it's like shit. 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I know,
It's been fun,
Mike.
though.
Yeah, we definitely have some work to do. Kevin is our master. He will have to teach us how, and we learned a little bit, man. He's been putting out some good videos on QRP stuff. We had him on a channel a long time ago. He's one of our popular episodes. So if you haven't listened to us, go back and listen to him, because we grilled him hard on all of the things you can tune up. With QRP. Impressive stuff.
Dude, every time I watch one of Kevin's videos, it makes me want to buy a G90.
Yeah, exactly. Right. If you do, all you have to do is do the combination, the double combination. Watch, Kevin first, and then go to Walt's channel, and you're guaranteed that you'll come out with a G90, in the next click or two.
But I gotta say, the best, absolutely best, is it. Freaking Kevin's bicycle.
That
His little bicycle power for his radio. That is hamgenuity at its finest.
Agreed, but the one that's close to my heart, man, is the shovel. He took out that big giant shovel. It was like, dude, this is a perfect antenna, and tuned that freaking thing up and made some damn good contact. So I was like, oh man, that's just gold.
I still like the trampoline.
Yeah, that one was a good one too.
The trampoline was pretty awesome.
Yep,
the trampoline and the silo, the combines. Yeah,
Kevin knows how to do it right. That's the way it goes, man.
And Kevin actually knows how to make music.
Yes,
unlike me.
Yeah. He's the last one I didn't get a chance. I know I saw it on my feed and I didn't get back to it. I got to go back and watch that one. So yeah, now that you trigger that thought, I'm going to go back and look at my history. So good stuff, man. Kevin, keep it up. We love seeing your stuff. And now he's getting into RC playing, so it's almost like he's going after Todd's love.
Yeah.
So, Mike, you still haven't bought another G90. I'm really getting to the point where I'm just gonna go to the store, send you one, and so you can get back to doing the things you love. Come on, G90s, way to go, man.
I'm waiting for the same.
All right. Well, Bob, it's good to see you, man. As always, make sure you email us, Bob. I need to get your email address. I want to, send you a shirt because we appreciate all your support. And, you're the original, Patreon member. So, it's all good. So thanks again for that. And so let's, put a little bow on the end of this one. So just to kind of wrap stuff up, guys, just remember, we've got the 24-hour POTA camp out. If you want to come, you want to operate, you want to even be part of it for the weekend, head over to our website at livefreeandham.com/24H-POTA. There's the link. There we go in the chat. Thank you again, Paul. And just fill out the form if you got an interest, and if you're coming a long way, let us know, because we got a couple extra bunk spaces between Paul and I and Todd's trailer. So, we'd love to have you. And you can come hang out with us because, dude, we're going to have a blast. It's going to be freaking awesome. That's 24 hours of POTA contacts. What's better than that?
I will definitely have a bottle of scotch. And we'll definitely get a little crazy.
I'll bring my favorite beers, and I'm sure there'll be many in tow. So all good stuff. And, hey, if you come and, maybe there's a desire, we want to put out a custom shirt. I'm thinking, we could put something out there. We'll come up with some really cool design that's, something that we can carry over year over year. I mean, pretty cool to do a 24-hour POTA every year. I'm kind of game for it. It'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be good.
So cool. All right, guys. Well, we had a bunch of people in the chat. I saw Mike. I saw Tortoise Overland, Brad. I mean, the list goes on and on, guys. I totally forgot all the names there, and I was starting to write them down, and then I lost a piece of paper. So my apologies. But guys, thank you again for supporting the channel. It's been an awesome ride. And again, we love doing this stuff because you guys love listening to us. So if you guys got suggestions, you have things you guys wanted to talk about, we've got some stuff planned in the future. With a couple other YouTubers that we're going to probably have on. So, if you got a couple suggestions or you want us to review something, you want to take a look, head over to our Discord. You can check that out in the links in all of our show notes. And, heck, we always love to get do-goods. We always love to hear from folks that are getting, upgrades in their license, or maybe you got your technician. Let us know, because we want to be able to celebrate you. And we've been doing that. And so keep it coming. For all those folks that have already sent them. And if you got stuff for mailbag, because Todd gets lonely sometimes and he likes to fill that section out, dude, send him stuff. Tell him how much you love his RC stuff or love of baseball stuff, or, you got a question for us.
Or how much you hate it.
Well, yeah, exactly. We don't care. Whatever, man. All good. It's definitely, fun to hear from you guys.
Hate it, Paul. So the next recording, that's all I'm talking about.
That's all he's talking about.
RC planes and baseball.
What we expect for less. So all good
That's
there.
all we're talking about.
And so with that, Send some extra questions. Yes, right. I think we already torture him enough with the extra. We'll be celebrating from the mountains. And so, actually, that was the other thing too. We just crossed over 500, so probably sometime in the June timeframe, probably before Field Day, because that's coming up. We'll do another live stream, and heck, we'll do a couple of big giveaways. I know I've been talking to Matt over at Reliance, and he's got a couple antennas that he wants to throw into the ring there for giveaways, and I've got a couple other stuff from Mad Dog and a few others. So we'll just have a big party, celebrate the 500, and continue to grow the channel, because heck, we enjoy doing it. It's fun. It's a blast. So let's keep this train rolling. And again, we thank you guys and appreciate everybody and those that have continued to support us. So outside of that, you can always head over to livefreeandham.com/shop. Check out some of our new merch. Obviously, the Bob Koff t-shirts there. We've got your Free Fall University sticker. I forgot about that. Was the FU sticker.
I'm gonna buy a bunch of these, and I'm gonna throw these in our next sticker packs.
There you go. Cool. Awesome. And Mike, that might be an option, but we're hopefully encouraging Todd to get his extra before September, because that's 3 months away. He should have enough time to prepare. He's already been preparing, on and off. So, that's a goal. At this point, I want him to get his extra before Leah gets her extra. That's just that's where I stand on this one. And she's been plowing. So
I'm going to crack down on it. That'll be the goal before the POTA 24-hour POTA.
There you go. And then we'll be able to operate in the extra bands like, it was a past thought. I don't know. Whatever. All right. Well,
hey,
cool.
And G Sarah can now do a online session.
Oh, yes, dude. Totally awesome. Oh, and Todd, guess what? I'm a VE.
What?
I'm a VE.
Oh, you did the test?
All done. Yep. I just got a notice from the VE team that they received all my stuff, and they'll be sending me some stuff. So I've already been signed up. I am part of the VE team, so I will be doing more online testing stuff. So that possibility of testing Todd online for his extra?
No.
No.
We could do it.
We could do a fundraiser. Come on.
Listen, we don't have to live stream it.
Nope.
We could just do a recording.
No. No.
The pressure's too much. But dude, you could be able to get your supportive aids, so we will play your background music for every question you do. You can say next question, we'll play the song, and you just got to go through the question.
Put the music on loop.
Yeah.
Tortoise Overland is pushing hard on that one. Money talks, Mike. Money talks is the way that goes. Anyway.
Oh.
No. Awesome. Very cool. All right. Well, with that, thank you again, everybody, for hanging out with us here in the chat. And thank you again for this live stream and being part of this AMA. And looking forward to coming up next week, because we released our next episode with our 24-hour POTA conversation, a bunch of other stuff. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And if you haven't listened to the episode with Paula and Amy, definitely give them a listen and support them in June with Queens of the Mountain, and get more ladies into SOTA. Get more ladies into getting on the air. So looking forward to that. And so with that, guys,
and don't forget. No, don't forget. Listen. Northeast Ham Radio.
Oh yeah, dude, thank you.
On Friday.
Yes. Yep. On Mike's channel, on my channel, on Paul's channel, any one of those links will be there. Come join and hang out with us. But that's going to be a pretty cool conversation, because there's a ton of stuff that a butt ton is what the right metric measure I was looking for. That we'll be talking about. So, Mike and a bunch of others have gone to Hamvention, and we're going to talk about radios, and I actually might get on a rant about the 1F. So hey, if you want to hear it, head on over to that one. That's tomorrow. That's on Friday night at 7. So that's going to be a blast. And we'd love to have you guys support us over there. And so anything else I missed?
No, just
Okay.
Hey, thank you for liking, subscribing, being channel members, all the good stuff. We 100% appreciate all the support. And if you want to join in the live chat during our recordings, of the Live Free and Ham podcast, just fucking join us on Patreon.
Yeah, be a patron.
Do it
Does
for as
any
little
level.
as $3 a month.
You can join for as little as $3
Nice
a
job.
month. It's not a big expense.
Thanks, Bob.
There you go. Nice job. All right. Well, with that, let's take us out of here.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.